Everybody, welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Randy Pitchford talked about a couple months ago. I think it was like June. I think he's talking about how the game would be the longest it's ever not going to go on sale, and yet it's gone on sale. So we're going to talk about Gearbox. Randy Pitchford said we've got to wait at least 5 years for Borderlands 4 to get a major discount. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about AI content now outnumbers human written articles on the internet. Imagine that. We're going to talk about Battlefield 6 a little bit. Battlefield 6 fiddles with the pace of conquest mode, but somehow avoids giving the people what they actually want. We're also going to talk about Battlefield 6 update addresses hit registration issues. And then we're going to watch a video from Legendary Drops talking about this game shouldn't exist, talking about Battlefield 6. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. What's going on, chat? What's going on, Winter Rose? Good morning. Morning, Winter Rose. Morning, Eclipse. Morning, Bat. Para. All turn. Good morning, Water Bear. Who am I missing? Sarge, good morning. Jason, good morning. I'm missing somebody else. Choco Monster. Choco Monster, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you. I don't know if we're going to hit 1 billion people. I don't think I'll ever hit 1 billion people in my entire life, but we can try. Jesse, what's going on? Good morning. All right. So first I want to talk about Randy Pitchford, right? Here's the title. Here's the title. Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford said, we have to wait at least 5 years to see Borderlands 4 get a major discount, but we've only had to wait 1 month for its first smaller discount, as it's already at 20% off on Steam. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember this, so I had to go back to a past broadcast, which was 3 months ago. It was on June 30th, just a couple days after Randy said, it's not going to go on discount. This is a little clip I said. So let's hear it. Faster than you think you would. First, they would start with a 10% discount. Then they would turn it down to about a 25 or 20% discount. Then if it still wasn't selling, they would go down to a 25 to 30% discount. And miraculously, you would then be playing normal prices for what the game should have been at $60, okay? But the industry wants to tell you that, look, this game is so good, and we don't have any plans to lower this price. I mean, even though Borderlands 3 was been on sale over the 5 years, it's not going to be $3 like this for at least 5 years. So pick up Borderlands 4 now is what they're doing. And the funny part is, again, you don't get to decide that. The market gets to decide that. So if people decide to buy Borderlands 4, which I think they will, I don't think there's a lot wrong with Borderlands 4 that we saw, okay? But Randy Pitchford is the worst part of Gearbox. So that's one clip, right? And then Sarge joins in on a clip, and this is also from 3 months ago. 5 years later, right? And this is another thing he said. Well, it's going to take a lot longer for it to go on sale, okay?
I got news for you, Randy. I got nowhere to be.
That's not how that works, Randy.
I got nowhere to be, Randy.
Yeah, that's not how it works, Randy. Borderlands will go on sale when the consumers decide when it goes on sale. Because if we don't buy the game day one,
goes on sale.
Guess what? You're putting that shit on 10%,
yep.
Then to 20%, then to 35%. Then it's going to be a Black Friday deal. Then there's going to be a sale. Okay. And I just love the fact that now, obviously, there's people that are going to buy it day one. There's already people that bought it day one pre-order because they just can't help themselves. They have to.
They have to have it.
It's what it is.
Yep. $20, bro.
But if it wants to go on sale, the market bears the market bears, and the market's like, you know what? I don't like your attitude. We're not buying the game. We'll show you what goes on sale. And here we are, right? Here we are. We're 3 months from what we said there, but we're only 1 month away from when the game actually launched, okay? So if guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford said, we have to wait at least 5 years to see Borderlands 4 get a major discount. Now, there's the play on words, right? A major discount. You're going to be waiting a really long time before you have to pay $15 for it, okay? But we've only had to wait 1 month for a very small discount, already 20% off on Steam. It's also 22% off, I think, on Xbox right now, if I'm not mistaken, for at least me anyway. So just over a month after launching, Borderlands 4 is on sale on Steam. While it also might not be a deep discount, Gearbox CEO Pitchford said you would have to wait at least 5 years for still one of the first chances to get a looter shooter for less on PC. Now, back in June, Gearbox CEO responded on Borderlands 3 getting a huge 95% price cut after 5 years by stating that it would take even longer for the fourth installment to follow suit. It's claimed included joining subscription services such as Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. Again, this is not how it works, Randy. See, the reason that you're putting a 20% discount right now is because everyone keeps saying that Borderlands is a massive success. I'm not taking anything away from you if you like the game. Pick a side. Are you the consumer that's liking the product and you like the product and you're playing that product? Or are you the person that really cares about the sales and if a game succeeds or doesn't succeed? Because if you're a person that bought the game and is enjoying the game, fantastic. Enjoy the game. But if you're a person that's sitting here saying that the game's successful and it's going to break records, well, it's not, okay? They're having problems. There was pre-orders that were low. They're not going to tell you these things, but you can tell by the way the market responds, okay? The game didn't sell very well, because if it did, it wouldn't be getting a 20% discount, okay? This is how it works. So jump forward just 4 months, and you can now save 20% on a cost price of Borderlands 4 on Valve's marketplace, and offer runs through October 20th. This applies to all 3 versions, Standard, Deluxe Edition, and Super Deluxe Edition, okay? Now, to be fair, Pitchford made this claim before anyone saw what kind of performance problems would emerge. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's performance issues or not. We, the customers, get to decide if a game goes on sale or not. If you don't want to buy it, you don't buy it. And if a massive amount of people don't buy it, they go, well, no one's buying our game. I think we're going to have to go on sale, right? That's why you shouldn't buy a game day one. You shouldn't buy a game week 1. You shouldn't buy a game month 1. You should see what the game is. You should see if it's working correctly, if it's broke, buggy, and unfinished. And if it's not, and only then when it's not, then give them your money, because then they deserved your money. But if it's broke, buggy, unfinished, then they don't deserve your full price money. Either they fix the game before you get the full price, or you wait for it to go on sale. Okay? So it says, let's see here. It says this price cut may be at least partially stem from a slightly negative reception on PC, as players there also having a hard time jumping into the Vault Hunters due to recurring hurdles. Finding the game is also a starting mess in some instances. It's on sale on Xbox too, at least on my screen. I don't know about anybody else. Okay. Steam reviews are also sitting at a mixed with 34,000 submitted. Not the most appealing bit of store page advertising for one of the biggest releases of the year, largest marketplace for PC. Discounts help sweeten the deal a little bit for prospective customers, even more so when the 5th of mere weeks after launch, if your friends are already playing it, you'll be getting it cheaper than them, making it worth a try, right? Well, if it is cheaper, then you probably should just wait a little longer, because it's still not fixed. They still have performance issues. Okay. While there's also a possible clause of bump in sales addressing some of the bugs to retain the players who are booting it up, is where true longevity lies. But who knows when Gearbox is also getting ready to acquire that particular loot. Okay. Well, let's look, right? Let's go look real fast at what the Borderlands numbers are on Steam. Borderlands 4 Steam charts. Okay, let's go to Steam DB. Let's look at it. Okay, it's looking fantastic, right? I mean, look at that. It's looking really good. Right here is when, they're like, yeah, we're doing the best ever, and then here they're like, maybe we should put it on a sale. Right here they're like, yeah, we should put it on sale, and here's the sale. Okay, again, if you're a person that's enjoying the game, fantastic, enjoying the game, but don't defend a game that when you say it's successful, because if it was successful, it wouldn't go on sale. It's underperforming of what they actually thought it was going to do. And the worst part about this is that Randy Pitchford opened his mouth where none of this would have happened. None of this would have happened if Randy Pitchford just stayed quiet and just let the game sell what it is. But instead, he comes out and he fans the flames of a game that had performance issues, had problems, and if they didn't have problems, they wouldn't be making fixes. They wouldn't be putting patches in it to fix the actual game. Where if he didn't say anything and they just fixed the thing, they would be in a completely different situation, and the game probably wouldn't be on sale right now. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about Randy Pitchford 4 months ago opening his mouth and saying that the game wouldn't go on sale? And then obviously we all know, we're not brain dead. We all know games go on sale, especially for the holidays and whatnot. But obviously he's trying to do a marketing ploy of, well, you got to get it now. Otherwise, and it's $80 or $70 or $100, right? And even when they put it on discount, you're now paying normal price of what the game should have been, which in my opinion, is still too much for a game that's broke, buggy, and not finished. But again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of the other videos on our channel. Thanks for watching. All right, what's going on, chat? Let me see what you guys are all saying here. Altern says, well, it break a record on how fast Borderlands game has gone on sale. It did. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it did break records. It broke records. Waterbear says, then again, I'm not looking forward to it. It's also come across my social media timeline now, though. Oh, what are you talking about, Water? I don't know what you guys are talking about there. I didn't scroll up far enough. Roic says, I don't think it'll give a 2-year tops before we put an Ultimate Edition on sale for at least 50 to 60%. I think you get a 33% discount on Black Friday. Okay? I think you get a 33% discount on Black Friday. And by this time next year, I think we see Borderlands selling for like 50% off. Or, actually, we'll see the bundle. It'll be like a 30% off, 35% off, but you get the DLCs and stuff with it. Choco Monster says, Arc Raiders is probably going to dominate. I'll be honest. That game, the more I watch some videos on it, it's gonna do good. You're gonna see. We're going to talk about Battlefield 6, right? There's no denying that Battlefield 6 is doing well, but the projection of Battlefield 6 going up, I think they're not paying attention. I think Arc Raiders is going to suck the air out of Battlefield 6 this weekend, which then is going to put doubt into people's minds of, man, I shouldn't have bought Battlefield 6. I should have waited, especially since Arc Raiders is like a $40 game, okay? And it's looking great. We're playing it tomorrow and this weekend for the Open Slam test to see what it is myself. I was pushed away from it because it's an extraction, but the more I see of what they're doing with the game, the developers and the company, I'm intrigued. So I'm going to play it this weekend, and I'll let you know if I think it'll be a huge success or if I think it'll just be a okay game. So, but yeah, I think they're underestimating it big time. What's going on, Kylo? Yeah, I didn't know either until I saw an IGN post about it on Twitter. You guys are talking about something launch buggy as fuck. Let's see. Kylo says, since it's also been an Xbox since 2007, it's possibly decent for me. But also with the price, I just go with the Steam Deck. Oh, you're talking about the ROG Ally. Is that what you guys are talking about? Nate says, I didn't play online, so maybe this is why I have issues. I'm having fun. I didn't listen to the reviewers. I buy stuff and it looks fun to me. And Nate, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to defend yourself, again, for buying a game that you're interested in. But if you come out and you're defending not only your fun time with the game, as we're having conversations and saying, I don't think Borderlands is selling very well. And someone's like, oh, no, well, it's got 304,000. Like, again, I can post a video on YouTube, okay? And my video could do this on day one, week one. It could be skyrocket. I'd be like, oh, my God, I'm going to hit 1 million views. And then all of a sudden, day 7 comes and it drops off the cliff and it never gets any more views, okay? So look at what happened to Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Wild sold 8 million copies in the first week or something like that. But then it didn't sell 500,000 copies in the next 6 months. Off a cliff, right? So you can't go with the projection. So again, I always say this, give it a smell test, right? Look at what the game is see what the buzz is. You can tell if people are excited about something, right? Look at what happened with Helldivers last year when it came out. Look at what happened with Power World last year when it came out. Look at what happened with Schedule 1? Look at what happened to these games that come out, and it's like this organic word of mouth. It's growing, okay? These AAA games can't do that. These AAA games have to falsify their popularity. They got to fake it till they make it, right? Because they already got up to the thing. They're a AAA company. They're selling millions and millions of copies of games. So just that alone sells games. They're like, oh, well, Borderlands is a fantastic game. Sure. But something's wrong with it. And it was the performance issues. It was the other issues. It's the balancing issues. It's the nerfing issues, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. So people are like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off. I'll get it on sale, right? When companies say we're not going to go on sale, hold my beer, because we, the customers, make a sale, not the company. The company's like, shit, our thing's not selling. I guess we have to go on sale. Feels good, man. What's going on? Says, doesn't 2K published games usually go on sale fairly quickly? Or maybe it's just their sports games. It all depends. It all depends on what the game sales are. Games don't go on sale. You know what didn't go on sale in a really long time? Grand Theft Auto. You know what doesn't go on sale? Nintendo games. Do you understand? If a game is super popular and they know their game is popular, they don't put it on sale. They don't have to put it on sale. Okay? When a game goes on sale, it's like, ooh, this is underperforming. This is underperforming. We gotta kick that up. Kyle says, yeah, I'll buy one. Borderlands 4 is like $20. Jesse says, Randy already ruined Borderlands 4. If he just, we said it months ago, if he just stays quiet, it would have been a much better thing. Jason Marshall says the new Vault Hunter looks cool, though. Sure. And you could get it, Jason, for a much lower price than the people that bought it day one and have to wait for the performance fixes and the issues and the balancing and all that stuff. So by the time you pick it up 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 9 months from now, whatever, it's going to be a much better game. It's going to be a cheaper game. It's going to be a much better performing game, and you're going to have more content in the actual game itself. What's going on, John? What's going on, Winzo? I'll check it out in a second. Arc looks insane, though, to be honest. I'm not even into that genre. A lot of people are saying that. See, this is what I'm talking about right there, right? A lot of people that are not a part of Extractions, right, are looking at Arc Raiders, and you see Arc Raiders like, I mean, there's advertisement going on. Don't get me wrong. But do you see them like bombarding stuff? No. It's like this organic word of mouth. It's the fans that played the game that are now making videos of how they were fun in the game, and then other people are watching those, and then they're looking at it going, oh my God, that actually looks pretty good, right? There's like this organic movement of what it is, and AAA companies can't do that. They have to buy it. They have to buy that type of stuff. When Power World came out and the word of mouth got out and they were making so much money off Power World, that was organic. That was word of mouth of, oh, check this game out, check this out, right? Completely different than Assassin's Creed Shadows telling you best game we've ever created. Dragon Age Veilguard saying, oh, it's the #1 BioWare game ever. It sold so many copies, but we're not going to tell you what it is. Just trust us, bro. Waterman says, it's looking damn good. I'll be open slam this weekend. Kyle says 300,000 at one time is not really bad. No, we're not saying the 300,000 is bad. We're talking about the sale going on after Randy Pitchford. See, in context now, Kylo, Randy Pitchford said this game wasn't going to go on sale. Right? It's going to take a really long time. It's been 1 month. 1 month, and it's gone on sale. Okay? Gone on sale, and the numbers have been dramatically dropping. Dramatically dropping. Jason says, I've been watching a lot of Crimson Desert. It looks so good. It was so damn good. But it also looks too good to be true with everything that you can do in it. That's another thing that happens, right, Jason? You're like, you get to a point where you weren't hyped, then all of a sudden you get hyped. And now you're thinking about it. You're like, in your head, you're like, well, it sounds too good to be true, right? Sounds too good to be true. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not. They got their money, though. A single-player game, 300,000 launched, $70 a clip is pretty decent. Sure, but I think they only sold, 2.5 million copies. And for what the price of the game costs, what the marketing that they've done, they're not profitable anytime soon. And now they already have to put it on sale. They would have loved to kept it at $70, $80, $100 for the deluxe or whatever edition and not put it on sale. Let's see. Titan says, do you think the movie affected Borderlands 4 sales? I think they actually... So I've talked about this in the past, Titan, where moving cross-promotion, like right now, Avatar is adding a third-person mode inside of Avatar Pandora, whatever, Flights of Pandora. What's it called? I forget what the game is called. But anyway, I think it's called Flight of Pandora, whatever it is. No, that's the ride. Anyway, regardless, the Avatar game is coming out, releasing a third-person perspective now inside the game, is launching the same day as the movie coming out in theaters, right? The Fallout 76 is putting a DLC content in Fallout 76 that's not 100% connected to the new series coming out, but you have the ghoul in the show that's in the thing, and they've connected it, right? So there's ways of promoting it. The Borderlands movie came out last year. Now, this Borderlands game maybe was supposed to be out last year, but they delayed it. Don't know. Maybe the movie was supposed to get pushed back this year. I'll tell you what, though. I think they completely missed and on purpose, right? Because they're like, we're going to release Borderlands with the movie, and they went, oh, yeah, that movie is not very good. And the movie came out. I think if the movie came out when this came out, I think it would have been much worse. I think because time heals all wounds, okay? Because there was so much time between when the movie released last year to the Borderlands releasing this year, I think there was enough time where a lot of people forgot about the movie, and Borderlands fans are just going to do this, right? If this came out the same time, this would be done. Done. They'd be like, that's bad. No one's touching that. But that's just my thought. John says, I farted as you said smell test. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. Choco said, Borderlands 4 is one of the top releases of the year, is currently the 58th most played game on Steam. That is a disaster. Let's see. Waterbear says, GTA 5 has been out for 75 years right now. That's right. It's like it's in 84 years, 13 years, and it's gone on sale. It took a really long time for that game to go on sale, and you can still get full price for it. Clip says, now it does, but you also know how long it took to get to that point. Marshall says, I will get it when I see there's a Game of the Year edition for $20 at Walmart. Waterbear says, 30. Man, I've been a big environment sound buff, and the sound effect devs used in Arc Raiders is good as Path of Exile 2 sounds. That's saying a lot. Yeah, the sound design looks really good. Sounds phenomenal. Like when we watched that video the other day, I watched like 2 other videos of people making it. Sound design's amazing. But the sound design was amazing. There was a video way back when the DICE guys were making Bad Company 2. And they made a video on all the sound effects of how they got the guns. And they went to the gun range and did all this stuff. And I was just like, man, that's so good. That crew moved over to Embark. And now they're making the finals. They're making Arc Raiders. Good guys. It's good guys. Roic says, I wonder if the community will just not kill each other. And it turns out more like Fallout 76, where people really don't do PvP, but end up helping each other. I think that's going to be up in the air. I don't know if it comes out the same as Fallout 76. Fallout 76 just pushed back, and they're like, no, because the difference is Fallout game was supposed to be single player, but then they gave us a multiplayer, and people were like, I don't want to play a multiplayer. So they started making it a single player game, but playing with their buds. So they made it like we're not going to fight. We're gonna be pals. I don't know if we get the same though. Pear says Fallout 76 had 2 years development cycle, small team making minor adjustments while the majority of the company is focused on AI-driven ESVI. Let's see here. Ron says Borderlands movie is actually better than Borderlands 4. Ooh, is it? Like story-wise? Choco says, I have no issue with Borderlands. I'm just surprised by the lack of interest. We did this 4 months ago. We looked at the initial Borderlands trailer that came out last year. I think it was like November, December for the Game Awards. And it had I think like 16 million people or 6 million people. And then the next video that came out, it had half that. So it was like 6 million. Then it went down to like a million. Then it went down to 600,000. Then it went down to like 10,000, and it was like 16,000 or whatever interested in the game right before it came out. I was just like, oof, that's not good. That means interest is gone. Now, maybe it's because the franchise is just kind of stale at this point, right? You got 6 games, more games. You have a lot of Borderlands games. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, pre-sequel, Wonderland. You got the Tall Tale games, right? You have like 7, 8 games of Borderlands. They're kind of just spreading it thin right now. And if you go back and look at Borderlands 1 sales and 2 sales, when they came out, they didn't sell very well. But over the longevity of Borderlands, they become like, we compared it to like cult classics, right? And I remember talking about this like Spaceballs, right? Spaceballs bombed in the theaters, but when it came to VHS and DVD down the line, a lot more people bought it and it became a cult classic. There's a lot of movies like that. That's what like Borderlands is. Borderlands, when it came out, didn't sell very well. Borderlands 1 sold really well once Borderlands 2 came out, because then people went back and bought Borderlands 1 with 2. That's where I jumped in. Okay. So I got both of them for like, I think it was like $30 for Borderlands 1 and 2 on discount. Then Borderlands 2 like rose up, and then the sales went down for the pre-sequels. The sales went down for Borderlands 3, had a big initial sales, then went stale, and then slowly built up again because it went on sale and people were buying it for like $6, right? So Borderlands has always been a franchise that's never been hot when it comes out, but it's been over the time with the DLCs and stuff like that. Winzo says, excuse me. On the side note, 30, if you need someone to play with an ARC in case I have any questions, I still don't know everything. I can also be quiet sometimes. I have a communication sometime with people. No, I'm weird. If I'm playing this week and you see me on, you want to jump in, hit me up. I'll be playing on console. Eclipse says the sound design will be like the best I've ever heard in a game. Jesse says, I wonder if EA and Respawn would be also maybe cancel Jedi Fallen Order 3 if they bought them. I hope that game comes out. I had a blast playing the first one and the second one. I'm looking forward to the third one. Let's see here. So tomorrow, Arc Raiders, you can play someone you can also download tomorrow. At what time? I'm not sure the actual time, but it's all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right, let me close some of these tabs. All right, we're going to go to the next story. The next story. Actually, before I go to the next story, I want to show you guys this. So there is a store section down below for apparel and stuff. We just added something new. You guys were asking for it. So we have the shirt that I'm putting up there, and there's different styles of shirts and stuff like that. It's no pre-order, no day one, no full price for half-ass games. We have different types of styles, shirts. We got mugs, stickers. So if you want the sticker, no pre-order, no day one, no full price for half-ass games. All right. And then we also have drinkware. We got a bunch of different mugs. We got the mug. All right. It comes in different colors. You got black. Okay. You got white. Okay. No pre-order, no day one, no full price for half-ass games. If you guys want to support the channel, you can do it that way. We have other drink cups out here or mugs out here for the 30 NSG, Make a Game, Sell a Game, GXG. We got a mug. I actually like this mug because it's all the show ideas that I've always had and did over the years. So you can check out all the logos and all the shows I did over the years being on this podcast or on this channel. So if you want to check it out, links in the description down below. You have to order some mugs for Christmas. I'm a big coffee drinker. There's plenty of them. I like giving people options. So if you like it, if there's something that you you don't see, and you're like, you know what, I would buy this if they have it on their site. If I didn't put it in the store, let me know, and then we'll put it in there, right? All right, the next thing. AI content now outnumbers human written articles on the internet, but the good news is that the slop seems to have plateaued for now. Has it? I'm worried that I'm going to read this article and the guy writing the article is using AI to write the article. Okay? If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay? So again, AI content now outnumbers human written articles on the internet, but the good news is that the slop seems to have plateaued for now. Okay, so in a development that will surprise nobody who senses a rising tide of AI slop, new research indicates that the AI content has now overtaken human written work on the internet. But there's a good news twist, all right? The slop seems to have plateaued. Okay, so researchers outfit 5% has published a new white paper analyzing online content publishers between January of 2020 and May of 2025, and the results indicate the materials created with machine learning tools initially overtook human-written content late last year. However, the data also shows the proportion of the AI-generated material plateauing. In fact, that the rapid growth of the AI content actually begins to slow in the data around mid-2023. Now, two immediate questions spring from this is first, why is AI content plateauing? And second, how accurate is the study likely to be? Now, 5% address both of these queries. Okay, it says, quote, while the AI-generated articles grew dramatically after ChatGPT launched, we do not see a trend continuing. Instead, a proportion of the AI-generated articles has remained relatively stable over the last 12 months. Hypothesize that this is also because practitioners found that the AI-generated articles do not perform well in search, as shown in a separate study in studies say. So the candidate explanation is plateauing. Google is doing a half-decent job in weeding out AI slop, if you can believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form, that Google's doing that, because Google, literally, the first search term when you do is AI. Okay? So I don't know if I trust this. I don't know if I trust it. You can literally go search something right now in Google, and the very first thing is AI generated. Okay? So it says, but what of the accuracy? The study used just one AI detection algorithm, a free one from Surfer. That does not seem hugely robust. However, 5% says the test of the algorithm on 15,000 articles published between 2020 and 2022, which can largely be assumed to be human written, and the results was implied by 4.2% of false positive rate. Okay. As of asserting false negatives, the author of the OpenAI GPT 4.0 to generate 6,009 articles and ran through the Surfer, found a correctly detected 99.4% of the articles as written as AI written. 5% explains the methodology in terms of the chat GPT was prompted to generate the test articles, but that's all obviously never fully simulated to a huge range of prompts that will also have been used in real world. So questions remain over the overall accuracy of the study. I think it's out the window. Just like all these other studies that people do is bullshit. All these studies are bullshit. They we surveyed 100 people and they say that they really like this, and they make an article saying that 100% of the people like something. That's not how you do a study, right? Tens of thousands of people need to take a survey, okay? And then, and only then, once you do with tens of thousands of people that do a survey, you can write an article and saying this is what it is, okay? So put it another way, it could be improved that the AI content means that it's harder to detect and therefore explain the plateau effect. This is hard to say for sure, 100%, right? How many inciting gaming articles have I pointed out, okay, that they have the dots and whatnot, or the M-tashes, or the N-tashes, or they quote certain things, or they do certain things, and the way they talk, okay? It's very, very odd. I'll be honest with you. It's so hard to tell. I can't even tell if this, okay, if this is an actual AI article or not. I don't see any M-tashes and stuff in there, okay? But I do see some weird things going on. I don't think it's AI, but it would be kind of ironic, wouldn't it, if the guy who wrote the article wrote an AI article in an AI article talking about AI is lower than actual humans writing articles? Would be a little weird, wouldn't it? It said, that said, it's least published of Google succeeding suppressing at least some AI slop that is alone motivating content publishers to stick with more expansive humans. If you're wondering about my own sense on all this flesh and bones content generator, will it just say I've yet to feel the cold, dead hand of AI on my shoulder, and the study gives at least the cause for some hope, okay? But inevitably, it all go into one direction from here. I'm pretty sure if we click, you know what? Let me go to Inside Gaming right now, because Insider Gaming is one of the, I think, the big culprits of AI. Even their titles. This title right here, that's AI. That was put in an AI program. Okay? Right? Title, right? Anything with like these long MTashes, okay, I guarantee you was written by AI. Obviously, I don't have proof of this, right? But I've been using AI for about 1.5 years now, 2 years, and I know what it does. I know what it does because of my scripts that I use for my videos that I do. When I do up titles and say, I'll put a title in ChatGPT and I'll say like, hey, can you reword this, right? Like I use AI every single day. So when I type in an article, like my article that you see, okay, I take all the articles that I'm doing for the day. I throw it into AI. And I say, give me five examples of titles, and then it goes It doesn't understand the question sometimes, and every single time, unless you say minus the MTashes and stuff like that, it's going to put the MTashes in. It's going to put quotes or dashes in between certain things because that is what it does. So when I've been using it, and then I see it in their articles every single day, right? So obviously, let's click on this one, right? Which I'm not going to read this one, but that's an MTash. I guarantee you there's like 3 or 4 MTashes within the article itself. Okay. Let me see. Scrolling down. Surprisingly, there's none in this one. Okay. So either they got really, really smart, but now there's parentheses behind things that you wouldn't normally put parentheses on. Okay. Right? Like stuff like this, like the RBG touches are neat. Parentheses, again, like all of this stuff, like you would think, but it is getting harder to tell when someone's writing an article if it's actually human or not. Okay. It is. And you'll never, and at the point, you're not going to be able to tell, right? You're not going to be able to tell because it's getting better and better every single day. And thousands of people, millions, not thousands, millions of people are writing articles every single day, right? All the data that's coming into the internet, and then ChatGPT is attached to the internet. So when you're writing an article and you ask something, like ta-da, it comes right on the screen from brand new stuff. Especially if you pay for the, I don't pay for the ChatGPT, the highest tier or whatever. I use the free one. But if you're paying for the one, because I think ChatGPT only goes up to a certain date. So like new articles that come out, it can't really say anything about those articles. But if you pay for the other higher version, it does. So it's very odd. I mean, we did it live on stream the other day with the top 5 reasons you should play Battlefield. We typed it in. It gave almost the exact same bullet points as the article that was written, the 5 top, So did it pull it from that? Or did he ask ChatGPT the exact same thing? It looks kind of weird, doesn't it? But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. As a person that's reading stuff on the web, do you care if it's written by AI? Do you care if it's written by an actual human? Does it matter to you? Or do you just kind of consume the stuff? Because a lot of people don't even double check if it's factual facts, right? They just read the thing and say, oh, well, that's what it is, right? You could ask a question in Google, and the first thing that pops up is it says AI generated or whatever, and it says what it is, and people just read it and go, oh, yeah, that seems like it would be good. And they just take that as that's what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Roka says, a guy I work with, He's a high up an Army programmer for the military, and he's been using ChatGPT to answer questions like, what the fuck? Yeah. It happens all the time. Here, I could show you. Let me get an example. Okay. Let me get an example. I will take an article. Let me go to Insider Gaming. Right, their article here. Right, Asus ROG Ally. All right, so all I did, right, I took this article and I just highlighted the Asus Ally review, powerhouse of portal gaming. Okay, I'm going back to ChatGPT now. I'll say, write a article on this topic. Okay. Searching the web, Asus ROG Ally, boom. Right? So now, right off the bat, it gives you a breakdown. Okay? So here's a review style article of the Asus ROG Ally X. Okay? What it gets right, what it struggles with, and where it lives up to the hype and powerhouse portal gaming device, right? Asus ROG Ally Xbox X review, a powerhouse of portable gaming, right? And it goes in. If you notice, see, it gives the MTashes, right? You see the MTashes, you see the dashes, you see the parentheses around certain things. Okay, it gives a breakdown. It gives a breakdown of what is it, right? And it gives you like bullet points, and then it also sources its sources. Okay, so you can click this, and it'll take you to the actual Verge article talking about it. So it's literally pulling from the like live. Okay, so it's literally pulling all the stuff from there. Right? It's giving you the breakdown of the stuff, right? You, the viewer, if I tell this, right, now, look, it's doing a breakdown, right? Can you put this in a article form? Right? So now it's going to write the exact same thing in article format. And it's instantaneously, right? Right? Then you can say, well, can you give more detail in the article, right? Give more detail in the article, right? It's still writing, right? It's given verdicts. It's given the star rating. Would you like me to add a short final thoughts? No. Will you give me more details of the article? Right? So it's going to search. It's going to go back out there. And now it's going to put more details in. Right? So there you go. Now it's giving the specs. Do you see where we're going here? This is well beyond someone telling me that articles are being written by humans, because when you look at articles, you could just tell that, well, there's doubt there. And like yesterday's conversation, guy living in Florida looks at a body of water. I'm going to say, we talked about cheaters yesterday and gators, right? Inside that body of water, there's a gator. I can't prove it, but I got to assume there's gator, right? So when I look at an article now, I'm like, it could be AI. That could be AI written. You can't not prove it anymore. So it's pretty crazy. Robert Jones says, no, AI was used to research the production of the AI article. Yeah, it 100% could have been. Paris says the clients literally ask us engineers to put AI models into the platform for the use of the right articles. These include Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office agents, extensions, and the article is wrong. Right? Says 30, exactly. You're completely on point. Yeah, it's crazy to me. And I've been only working with AI, right, for a year and a half, right? You guys can go look. When I first started making the AI songs, okay, I was still writing them, but now I'm getting really good at the prompts, right? So now I can get the prompts. So when I'm going to Sonos and I'm writing out the music and I'm putting the lyrics in there, I can make someone, I can make the AI sing a certain way. I can make it gospel. I can make it a background singer. I can make the drums come in. I can make the certain things come in. And that's based on, if you're putting it in quotes, if you're putting it in parentheses, if you're putting a semicolon behind it, if you're doing all these different things, basically I'm coding like C++, but it's not C++ anymore. It's completely different. It's just paragraph writing, right? You're writing paragraph, and I know when I write a certain lyric now, how it's going to, produce that in a certain way. Okay. So I've been messing with this stuff for over a year now. So when someone tells me that they're writing an article, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, it's okay. Just like, it's not okay if you're a writer. Okay. I'm not a person for a news outlet for like New York Times or anything like that. Right. There's no editors anymore. No one's proofreading their stuff. Right. They're just putting it in. Right. They're probably drinking late, smoking a joint, watching TV, like, oh shit, I got a report to do. Hey, ChatGPT, can you write an article for me? I need an article on ASUS ROG Ally, if it's good and bad, pros and cons. And they're like, okay, sure, there you go, right? And it does it, and then they put it out there because all they need is like a 1,200 word document out there so people can click on it, right? So I feel better about myself because I read news articles and they give you my thoughts and opinions. It doesn't matter if the thought and opinion is off a fake article or a real article. I'm giving you my thoughts and opinions on the thing we're reading. So if people are going to give you shit articles out there, I'm going to smell it out if it's bullshit. I call them out all the time on surveys and all these claims and rumors and all this other stuff, right? I'm just giving you my opinion. If you don't like it, it's just my fucking opinion, okay? They're giving you things for facts, right? They're giving facts. They're like, this is what it is. No, that's not what it is. And there's no proofreading. There's no nothing, right? Coming from me, I like hated writing in school. Hated it, okay? And here I am on YouTube every single day, 4 days a week, for years and years and years, writing stuff. What world are we living in? We live in an AI world, and I'm writing more than the AI is. I use AI as a tool. I don't use AI as the thing, right? Like, I don't take a screwdriver to try to nail in a hammer. I take a hammer to nail in a hammer, right? I don't use the AI to do the work for me. I make AI help me what I'm doing. These guys are literally just putting the stuff in as theirs. The second I know it's AI, I'm out. Robert says, I've gotten lazier with AI, has learned more. Things only going to get worse. 100%. We are the guys inside of Wall-E. We're going to be in floating wheelchairs in our fat asses, serpent slurpees and shit. That's exactly what's going to happen. Waterbear says, I'm 100% sure we're going to get AI developed game. It's already happening. Already happening. And there's going to be people out there, I'll never play a AI game. I'm going to know. I'm never going to watch a show or a movie in AI. It'll never happen. You're watching stuff right now on YouTube, right? Right now on TikTok and Twitter and all other social media, and you have no idea if it's AI or not. Sarge says, why do they have a job if they don't do dick? Look, everyone. Look, would you take a pay? I mean, I wouldn't, Sarge. Right? Would you take a paycheck? Right? I would be like, I don't want to. I'm wasting my time. I could be doing something else. Robert Jones says it all went downhill when kids started using calculators. Yeah, when I used to write 80085 and you flip it upside down. Oh, I'm sorry, it was 58008, and it said boobs. That was the downfall. That was the downside. John says, you know what I want to say, but not how to say it, 30. Wait, you know what you want to say, but not how to say it, 30. That's exactly right. You pinned me perfectly, John. You pinned me perfectly. It's exactly right. My brain is constantly doing this, and it comes out here, and it's not the exact same thing I wanted to say in here. But you know what? Tough shit. It's what it is. We had this conversation I say 6 months ago, right? Are you a director if you're typing into something going, hey, AI, can you make a movie of a Transformers movie? And then it makes a Transformer movie all by itself. And you're like, I made that. Did you? Did you make that? I don't think you made that. I don't think you directed it. I don't think you're the artist that made the Transformers film. I think you just typed in, can you make a Transformers film? Now, are there people that can do more detail with that and make it better? Sure, right? But someone going, all right, made my article. Peace. Like that's a completely different thing. What's going on, Kinger? Kinger says, I am AI generated. Like you yourself are AI generated? Or that sentence is AI generated? Calculator used to have the dark side. I sense in you. I remember my buddy. I remember him very well, right? We were in band class together. His name is Kevin, right? Kevin and me were like best pals when we were in band, right? Sat next to her, we fucked around all the time. This dude taught me how to code in a scientific calculator, and we made a video game inside where it was like not Galaga, I'm gonna fuck up. Ritus, the ship that flies, right? And you would use the calculator and you would move. Wait, we coded it inside a calculator. It was amazing, right? It was amazing. That's what we did in band class, by the way. John says it's called. Hey, can you copy my homework? But be sure to change it somewhat so you don't get caught. Most don't change anything. Yeah, they just yeah, I got it. Then 2 papers turn in and they're like, Michael, I need you to come up to the desk. And John, can you come up to the desk, please? Somebody here is copied someone else's homework. And John's like, no, it wasn't me. I'll be like, no, I'm the original person. They're like, no, John's like, no, I did it. He copied me. It's like, well, you're both failing because you copied each other. Be like, right? That's what happened. Kinger says, I thought I heard AI content be copyrighted. If that's true, it looked forward to IPs being the wild, wild west and everyone's ripping each other off. If that's the case, right? If that's the case, it's going to be an absolute, like, how do you sue somebody, right? Because if I make something, right? For instance, it's happening right now. People are making like Mario videos and other things on the internet right now, right? Now, obviously, Mario is copyrighted, okay? But I didn't make it. Right? If I'm the guy just typed in make Mario as a knight, and it does this like movie thing, and all I typed in was make Mario into a knight, and the AI produced the exact thing, am I in trouble for doing that? I didn't make it. The AI made it, right? So you could call, deniability. You're like, no, I didn't do it. AI did it. I don't remember signing something that I own the AI on my thing. Whatever ideas I come up with is my ideas for hit. You know what I mean? It's going to be very strange going forward. Imagine heart surgery. Who got his license using AI? Well, Ron, I guarantee you there's a doctor somewhere, right? He hasn't done maybe a brain surgery in a while. He's like, Doc, do you think the brain surgery is going to go good? I've been doing this for years. All right, we're just gonna put you to sleep now, and when you come awake, you'll be just good. As soon as he passes out, be like, hey, can you grab me my phone real fast? I gotta look up that brain surgery video. It's been a while since I did one. Hey, like that's what's gonna happen, right? They're gonna watch a step by step. Okay, now you're just gonna have to move out the brain part of the thing and put it over here. Okay, pause that. The nurse is there. Okay, next step, right? That's what's happening, right? The people that are getting jobs in the world are not going to have to think about it. They're just going to live in that moment as they go. Kicker says they're trying to get around it by not having a new user agreement you sign when you also use the service. You agree not to feed the AI copyright content. But if I type in Mario, right, Kinger? I don't say Mario from the Mario game. I say, create a character named Mario who is a knight who fights dragons, and then ta-da, it puts in, and it's Mario from like Nintendo. Be like, I didn't type in Mario Nintendo. There's other Marios out there. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be very crazy the way they're gonna go about it. But I didn't make the Mario. It made it itself. You type anything in AI, they own it. They own everything. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Jones. Don't worry about it. I mean, technically, does YouTube own me? They're doing the platform. Everything I come up with and put on this platform, they don't own. Why would it be any different? Right? I mean, they can shut my channel down, but they don't own my channel. I don't know why it would be any different in AI. I mean, hell, if anything, anyone that's feeding anything to AI is making AI learn more. So you should 100% not be attached to it because you're feeding it and making it learn. Nintendo will sue AI. I will make a new company called Nintendo. And instead of the guy named Mario, it'll look like Mario, but his name will be Mario Bro. Mario Bro. We're gonna get some crazy shit in the next 6 months. 6 months to a year. You guys saw that. You guys saw that thing I said the other day, right? I showed the other day with He-Man. He-Man behind the scenes, right? They would never. I mean, think about that. Hasbro is being outdone by AI itself. Did you guys miss this? Let me see if I can find it. Like, it's crazy. Come on, where is it? I'll just go to the Discord. I'll go to the Discord. We're in general? Yeah. Oh, I guess it wouldn't be He-Man. Masters of the Universe, right? It was called Masters. Yeah, here it is. All right. Look at this. I showed this the other day. Okay, this is all AI. This is all AI. This is behind the scenes. Okay, this is behind the scenes. And if someone didn't know this, so everybody in this picture right now, everybody in this picture is fake. They don't exist. The lights, the people, the guy flying in the air that looks like He-Man. Okay, none of this is real. Now watch this. Do you see? Like, I want this movie. I want this movie. Okay, look at this dude ripped. Right, you can see his face because I paused it. It's not real. Okay. Let me just back that up for a second. Right, look at the water spray coming off of it. Look at that, or not a water spray, whatever, the smoke. Right. This is insanity. Okay, I know a lot of people look at this and go, "Yeah, I knew it was AI. I knew it was AI." Right? This is insanity. Okay, you can make a full-length feature film like this, and you would sit and pay your $10, sit in that theater, and you would eat it up because you'd be like, "Oh my god, that was the best He-Man movie I've ever seen in my entire life." It looked so like the cartoon, but in live action form. The costumes were so pristine. They hit it right on. Right? You don't know shit. Right? I worked in the industry for 20 years, and this is what this is doing is blowing my mind. Right? Special effects, CGI, garbage that Marvel has done, okay, in the movies in the last 6 years, 7 years. Forget about it. Right? Look at this. Nobody's real here. I knew it was AI as soon as I saw it because they wouldn't be this accurate with the cosmetics or the costumes and stuff in the movie. They would fuck it up in some way, shape, or form. Right? And this is going to be the worst that it's ever been. Right now, this is the worst it's going to be. Fuck the AI. Where are you getting $10 tickets? What I'm saying, Krebsy, you're going to pay for it, regardless of whatever the fucking price is. Sarge says, behind the scenes of a totally fake project, this is borderline propaganda. Yeah. Now you're going to get so disappointed when the actual movie comes out for Masters of the Universe and be like, I want that AI project so bad now. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. All right, we got 2 stories, then we're going to watch a movie. A movie. We're going to watch a video. We're going to watch a movie. We're not watching a movie. Battlefield 6 fiddles with the pace of conquest mode, but somehow avoids giving the people what they want. Remove the timer. Okay? Just off this title alone, this frustrates me because, again, these are people making Battlefield that don't get Battlefield. Okay? So if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so Battlefield 6 fiddles with the pace of conquest mode, but somehow avoids giving the people what they want. Remove the timer. Now, again, I'm not playing the game because I'm waiting to see how the other shoe drops, okay, between the Trojan horse of the microtransactions and the battle passes and the battle royale that come in. All right, because you're having fun now, but I don't want to pay $70 for a game that I might just play for like 1 month and then put it down and never touch again, especially a multiplayer game, right? So I want the game to see what the game's going to be once everything comes out, and then I'll decide if I want to pick up the game, right? So I'm not joining a conquest game thinking it'll be over in 20 minutes. It says Battlefield 6 is here, and it's really rather good. PCG Morgan Park called it a slave for a FPS since it takes itself too seriously in reviewing the progress. Okay, with a wider context of where shooters are in 2025, making it back to basics approach incredibly refreshing. Hell, it even runs like a dream. Guys, what do you see? What do you see in this? We were just talking about AI articles. I just showed you a bunch of ChatGPT stuff. Okay, right? You see what's happening here, right? You see the commas, the quotes, the M-tashes, right? The parentheses. It's kind of weird, right? Again, I don't know if it's AI, but it kind of looks sus, right? Anyway, that's not saying the game's entirely without issues, of course. And 1%'s grumble since launch has been about the Conquest mode, which is also arguably the series' main mode, and also one would also like to be spending a lot of time in. The problem is with the time itself. Conquest mode is designed around each team having a set number of reinforcement tickets, which tick-tock down as match progresses. The first team to run out of tickets loses. Okay, Battlefield 6 added a timer to Conquest, something that hasn't present in previous Battlefield games, and so players have also run into a repeat issue of their matches are finishing before either team has run out of tickets. Why are they putting a timer? Why are they putting a timer in? Because there's just so much going on. They're like, well, if we put a timer in, that means people that are playing Conquest mode will have more time to put in. Maybe they want to play Team Deathmatch. Maybe they'll have time to go play the Portal. Maybe they want to go play some BR when it comes out. Maybe they have time to go into the store and see what we're selling. Like, why do you have a timer? Okay, the timer is us killing the guys on the other team, and if we hit that number before they do, then they win or we win. Why are you putting a timer inside the game? I know why. Because fundamentally, you're pushing people to move quickly through the game so you could do one of the things I said, or you don't understand what Battlefield is. Okay? So it says Battlefield 6 added a timer to Conquest, something that wasn't present in previous Battlefields. Okay, easily to see why there's a problem. The great thing about Conquest is comebacks and how a declined ticket count affects your team. Players notice when the number is getting low, play more cautiously, and every kill starts to feel crucial. It's deeply annoying when you also have the two teams in a situation with low tickets, and then an arbitrary timer suddenly declares the winner. Yeah, I would be done with that. I'm glad I don't have the game right now. I'm glad that there's people enjoying the game. I'm glad that people are testing it out, and hopefully they'll fix it. Okay. It says DICE has now tweaked this, but weirdly enough, it hasn't taken out the timer. Instead, it seems to think that the starting ticket count is the issue. Hello, McFly. Hello. We don't like the timer. We hear you. We understand what you're doing. We fixed it. We lowered the tickets. No, we don't like the timer. Got it. Timer. They're complaining about the timer. So let's give them less tickets. Yeah, that's good, Chuck. That's a good idea. Yeah, we heard you. We're giving you less tickets. Okay. Right? Again, it's because they're trying to push you out of that game. Because they don't want you just to play Conquest. If you want to go play Conquest, go make your own Conquest map inside of Portal. Okay? Wait for Tactical Brit to make a brand new map for you that works better than our map. It doesn't have timers if you want to play Conquest mode. We're not giving you Conquest here. We're giving you a platform so you can play. Okay? It says we've reduced the starting ticket count across all Conquest maps so matches finish at a more natural pace. What are we talking about? The natural pace of a non-timing game is people killing other people on the other team, and that naturally makes the tickets go down, and that naturally stops the game. For God's sakes. Let me read this again. Okay, we reduced the starting ticket count across all Conquest maps so matches feel more natural pace, says DICE in a new update. Previously, many rounds were hitting a time limit instead of ending when the team ran out of tickets. We'll keep monitoring feedback at the data to make sure you follow each match as feels right. Take the timer out, morons. Take the timers out. How do we make it feel more natural? I don't know. Let's put timers and let's put things in there. That feels natural. The exact reduction of each map are now Cairo's got 1,000 to 900. Empire State has 1,000 to 900. Okay. Liberian has 1,000 to 900. Liberation Peak has 1,000 to 800. Manhattan Bridge from 1,000 to 800. They put that in the tag. They're like, well, these are the bigger maps, and we got to lower the maps. It's harder to get around, and because people are running a little farther, that means it takes longer to get there. And that, so dumb, so dumb. They're making problems where problems don't need to be. Well, we have 15 game modes in the game, plus we have Portal. How do we get people to stop playing the game to go play one of the other parts of the game? Well, let's add a timer. We don't like the timer. We hear you. We've lowered the tickets for you. So now the timer shouldn't end. Huh? What are we talking about? I'm not sure it's going to solve any of the issues players have with the Conquest timer in Battlefield 6. Though in all fairness, the proof will be in the pudding. Players' reaction is generally along similar lines. Okay, it says completely missed the mark on this one, says a person. They actually makes Conquest worse, not better. The Battlefield community is used to long Conquest matches, and now they've cut them down to finish the random timer. Remove the timer. Yeah. Doesn't take a genius to fucking figure that out, right? Quote, the easier solution would be just to remove the timer limits, says Modog. Quote, closed games are incredible, and this is artificial time limits ruins comebacks. Just let us play Conquest. I'm not joining a Conquest game thinking it'll be over in 20 minutes. Huge L. Another person says, one more. Just delete or extend the time limit. No, you don't. Delete. You don't need to extend the timer. What exactly are we doing here? People want long, epic matches when playing Conquest. No, they don't, because they're Call of Duty guys coming on over. What is this game? It ends when I'm used to like killing 50 people with a kill streak. I need to move on. I need to go. I need to get to the next thing. I got things to do. I got people to kill. I got kill streaks to go. Battlefield is Conquest. It can take 45 minutes. It can take an hour. While you're playing the game, you're leveling up. So it doesn't matter if you're in there for 5 seconds or if you're in there for 10 minutes. If you shoot the gun, kill somebody, take over a capture point, you're getting points. You're accruing these points, which then levels you up. So it doesn't matter if you're playing 3 games at 10 minutes or playing 1 game at 30 minutes. Hey, it makes no sense to me. Please tell me 5 studios understand Battlefield. 5 studios. Okay? Let's not overdo things here. Battlefield 6 is a very good game indeed. Battlefield 6 is... Can we just stop calling it Battlefield? FPS game here. Okay? It's a very good game. Okay? Indeed. Conquest is still amazing and fun to play. No, it's not Conquest. It's got timers. It's not Conquest. And DICE may as well have hit upon a solution that works. Just remove the timer. Don't be surprised to see further Conquest fiddling, though. And the question of whether or not the mode needs a timer at all or going to remain is a big one. No, remove the timer. Remove the timer. You don't need a timer. Okay? I find that absolutely a grind more than an issue. That's another thing. People hate the grind of the actual guns. But I'm sure they'll tweak it. It's a live service game. They want you to make sure you have enough time to do this stuff. Okay? But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think if the developers are complete brain dead, where they're like, yep, we hear you. We're not going to remove the timer because we're not allowed to remove the timer. There's a guy looking over our shoulder right now. We can't remove the timer, but we can give you less tickets. Problem solved. Okay? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our videos. Thanks for watching. So stupid. It's... Hey, the timer is the bad part of the game. You should remove the timer. No, it's just you got too many tickets. It's got too many tickets. Choco says, I have no interest in Battlefield, to be honest, though I'm interested to see if the BR and if they do anything fresh. Fresh is, here's the circle. It's closing in. In other Battle Royales, if you go over here, you can play over here a little bit, and then you can come back in and only have damage. But if you touch this in Battlefield, you're dead instantly. That's fresh. Fresh. Maybe they'll add a timer. That'll be fresh too. Yeah, they'll add a timer. Waterbear says, how to ruin a game in 30 days. Ask Borderlands that. Are you sure this isn't an article for Destiny? Could be. What the fuck are we talking about? Am I taking crazy pills? Nope, you're not taking crazy pills, Sarge. What? Battlefield 1 behemoths help turn around battles, not a timer. No, they know better, Ray. Remember, 90% of the people that are working on this game never worked on Battlefield 1, so they probably didn't even play Battlefield 1. We're listening, but we don't like your ideas. Yeah. Waterbear says, what's the problem with Conquest? The timer. Let's remove some tickets instead. Yeah. Yeah. It's like playing Risk with a 20-minute timer. It's not natural. Robert Jones says, sometimes a match of Conquest is too long for me. On those days, I just play another mode. Easy. No, they have to put a timer in it. Right? Someone's like, we have Team Deathmatch, we have King of the Hill, we have all these other modes, you can play Portal, you can do all these things. No. We have to fundamentally change Conquest because the timer, it's a 20-minute timer. That's what it is. No more, no less, 20-minute timer. If you happen to kill the guys beforehand, before the timer runs out, cool. You get shorter games now. 20 is the longest. Getting the tickets low makes it faster now. So before, there was a timer, but there was also tickets. But 20 minutes was the minimum and the maximum. But now, they lower the tickets. So if you kill the tickets, maybe you're playing 18-minute matches now instead of 20. Huh? They fixed the problem. Even though the people that are playing the game are like, no, I want to... If it fixed naturally at 20 minutes or 18 minutes, cool. But if it goes 25 or 30, cool. So ridiculous. Hate the grind. All Battlefield games you had to grind. No, Sarge, they've made the... You're arguing for people that are bitching about the grind, but the grind that they've put in this game, they fundamentally changed because of the game, how they created the game. They need people to stay in the game longer. They need people to actually try. So imagine you're playing Conquest mode, and if you just had 21 minutes in the game, you could maybe finish one of your Conquest missions, okay? But you ran out of time because you had to get 30 kills on the point, but you missed out because the 20 minutes ended. Well, now you got to start over. Now you got to start getting 20 kills again on the point, okay? Do you see that they've unnaturally made things in the game to make you grind for the gear longer? They fundamentally changed the game so you can grind longer. It's not about there's always been a grind in Battlefield. Yes, you've always grinded to get your gear. They're fundamentally making the grind longer, okay? Longer to keep people's attention. Meanwhile, Helldivers, a single game, can last 45 minutes. 40. Well, 42, right? Because it's a 40-minute mission. If you don't get there on time, it's a 2-minute timer, maybe 43. So, about, yeah, 43 minutes. It's also timed with their music. I'll be honest with you, Eclipse. I don't know. I have one that I've ordered in the mail because I haven't received the shirt yet. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know if it runs small or not. I don't know. The shirts that I had from another company, they didn't run small. They ran exactly as is. But it's a long time ago when I used the other company. This is a different company. We're using was it Teespring? So I've never gotten anything from Teespring. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I ordered a couple of things, so I'll let you know when I start wearing them. Water says, see, the problem isn't the game. It's us, 30. We thought we were getting a real Battlefield game. Remember, the gamer doesn't know what they want. That's right. Tell me what you want. Wait, do I have that still? I think I have that.
Tim Kaine walks in with a question so bold. Do gamers know what they want? He's told. The crowd says yes, but then starts to fight. Tim shakes his head. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tell me what's good, not what's gone wrong. If you just complain, the list gets too long. You say, this sucks, but what do you mean? Fix the bugs or scrap the whole scene. Tell me what's good, give me a clue. If you only rant, then what can I do? Do gamers know what they want? No. Do devs know what gamers want? Also no.
There you go. We don't want timers. We hear you. We got rid of the tickets. Kingard says, I guess I'm in the minority, but I think the grind is fine. Most of the complaining is about it are from people who want to completely max out a gun in one play session. I don't think I know what you're saying, Kingard. I'm not playing the game, so I don't know the actual if the grind's good or not, only based on what I've seen. I think there's the no-lifer streamers, and I'm not making fun of them, it's just what they do. They constantly stream, right? And they're going through, and they're kind of fine with it. Then there's the people that stream, but don't stream full-time, so they play the game, but they don't have enough time to put enough time in, so they're like, oh, I want something to be accomplished, I can't do it this thing, right? And I think those people are the ones complaining, right? So it'd be like the casual, more things. I think it does need to be tuned, because based on what I've watched and seen, because if you're a person that puts, let's say you're, I don't know, Shroud, you put 40 hours in the week, okay? And 40 hours in the week, he got his thing up, let's say halfway through an AR rifle or whatever to unlock all the stuff, okay? He's level like 60 or 70 now, okay? So he's put in the time, and he's only about halfway. For someone to put 40 hours in as a casual person, and they're only putting 2 to 3 hours in a week, okay? That's going to take them, what's it, 3, 6, 9, 12. That's going to take them 4, maybe 5 months by putting that time in just to get one unlock of that gun, right, for AR to get up to that point. Okay, that someone did just nonstop streaming, right? This is the same problem that they complained about with Star Wars Battlefront 2, grinding for Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, right? That you had to grind so absurdly that they would want you to pay for it instead. Now, obviously, they're not hiding anything behind, at least not yet in Battlefield. They're not hiding anything behind monetarily, okay? all the things in the game you're actually unlocking, but they made that grind like you're grinding for Darth Vader, right? To unlock Darth Vader in the game, that's how they feel that the AR or the LMG or the scope or whatever the person's trying to get is what they're trying to get. They feel like it's too long, which would be par for the course for EA, wouldn't it? That they're trying to, fundamentally change to make it more grindy so you play the game longer. It's not about complaining that you're unlocking things, right? It's too grindy. It's basically they've made Battlefield into like a Destiny or a Division, and you're grinding to try to get those things in a longer way instead of where it would have been normally. Let's say it would have taken you 4 hours. Now it's taking you 8 hours. When you say run small, you mean American made or Asian made. American made is made up by fat people, and Asian market made for normal people. There you go. We have a number for Battlefield EA. It's in GXG. We have numbers for Battlefield. Okay, we do. Official numbers. We have official numbers now. Okay. Battlefield 6 has shattered records, becoming the biggest launch in franchise history. Okay, it's official now. From EA. Press release. Here we go. Here it is. Fresh in Krebsy posted. Battlefield 6 has shattered records, becoming the biggest launch in franchise history. Millions of players joined the fight to break series beta launch records for player engagement. I don't care about beta. Official launch hype trailer following a record-shattering open beta. Okay. Battlefield 6 hit an all-time high of franchise sales during the first 3 days of launch, selling over 7 million copies and counting. Hey, I was close. I said 8 to 12. So they just went under that, right? Copies and counting. Thanks to the series' passionate community, the game had over 172 million matches played online, accumulated over 15 million hours, watched or streaming services during 3-day weekend, as well as earning the most concurrent players that Battlefield ever. First and foremost, we want to thank the players, like we're at the Academy Awards, from the initial concept through the implications of Battlefield 6 labs, with record-shattering open beta. Which one of you in the labs put a fucking timer in Conquest? Who? Point them out. Said, hey, you should put a timer in Conquest. Okay? Together with all the players, we had a singular goal: to craft the best Battlefield ever. Why is Battlefield slammed up against ever? No one proofread this. Our first season of new content is just 12 days away. We never take moments like this for granted, so I wanted to express the serious gratitude for Global Battlefield Studios and passionate community. It has also helped us to get to this point, said Vince Ampella, Executive Vice President. We appreciate you joining us on the Battlefield 6 Moments launch. We also have so much more to come in the weeks ahead. Battlefield 6 takes the fight to unprecedented levels and brand new multiplayer modes, an exciting blockbuster single-player campaign, a host of enhancements that have created a remarkable sandbox where every fight, vehicle, and strategy leads to victory, and a return to Portal, offering a powerful creator tools and players that have already used to demonstrate the mind-blowing creative and skills. There's going to be a battle pass, right? There's going to be a battle pass? Man, I bet you that battle pass is going to be really grindy. It's going to be really grindy. They'll adjust it as they go, but Battlefield 6 explosive launch is the first step in building a connected Battlefield universe. Why do they keep smashing Battlefield up against other words? It looks very on purpose, but it's weird. Okay, for the franchise, with Season 1 releasing imminently on October 28th, the first phase of thrilling seasonal content kicks off on Rogue Ops, okay, which includes a new map called Blackwell Fields, built for chaos on an all-out warfare intense with new 4v4 mode. Seasonal content released on a consistent basis with the next two phases of Season 1. You're bringing out another small map, and it's 4v4 mode? Holy Christ. Battlefield 6 is now available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. Battlefield 6 is available in Standard Edition, also in Phantom Edition. The Phantom Edition includes a full game download in Battlefield 6, as well as exclusive Phantom Squad Soldier skin pack, plus 2 high-performance weapon packages and a vehicle skin. and a combat knife with a bipod. No, there's no bipod. Scan and Phantom Edition also includes a token of Battlefield Pro, a Season 1 package that includes a Battle Pass, 25 tier skips. Oh, yeah. It's going to be grindy. Because you got to have 25 tiers to skip, so that means they're making it purposely grindy. Okay, exclusive cosmetics, XP tokens, and much more. So there you go. So 7 million copies. I said they would do 8 to 12. They did 7. But every day it seems like less and less people are playing the game. And you would think it's, oh, well, it's the weekend and not the weekend. No, but the peaks are getting lower and lower. Viewership is getting less and less for this game. And I think this weekend is going to be a big tell. Because if Arc Raiders pulls the numbers that I think it's going to pull, Battlefield 6 is in trouble. Okay? Yes, Battlefield 6 has sold to 7 million copies. They already got your money. But I'm talking about in the future. Okay? Because if Arc Raiders is as big and hyped as people are making it, because a lot of people are not paying extractions, I don't think it's going to break like their record of 500, 700, whatever. But what I do believe is a lot of people that bought Battlefield 6 that were never interested in Arc Raiders are going to move over to Arc Raiders. They're going to try it this weekend. Battlefield 6 numbers are going to crash this weekend compared to what Arc Raiders is. And then when Arc Raiders comes out on October 30th, there's going to be a big difference of people that were buying and playing Battlefield in the first week or two compared to 1 month in, and now Arc Raiders is out, and then Call of Duty comes out 2 weeks later, and the Call of Duty crowd that they're trying to capture or keep or whatever they're trying to do, they're going to leave, right? Then you're going to have other people that are going to leave for Arc Raiders. Then you're going to have other people that are just tired of timers and the grind and all this other stuff, and they're going to leave as well. I think you're going to see after this weekend, after I play Arc Raiders, we're going to see what the actual happens to Battlefield 6, and then we'll make some predictions after that. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. 7 million is where I thought they were going to make. I thought they were going to make 8. But, this is less. And I don't think it's going to get better. And if they're going to have to go on sale. They're going to have to do a Borderlands in the next couple months. And I think within 6 months, they're going to have major problems because I think a lot more people are going to be playing the Battle Royale than the actual game itself of Battlefield 6. Again, just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below in the live stream. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. Let's see here. If they come out with paid weapons, XP boosters, then I will be upset. Well, get ready, Kinger. Brace yourselves for impact. Robert Jones says, just buy the unlock shortcut. Duh. Robert Jones says, paid weapon booster will 100% be in the battle pass. Choco says, make gaming accessible again. Waterbear says, 7 million first week. Oh. Uh-oh. You know, they're also going to be fixing any of that for a while. Just add more timers. Yeah. Remember, they made 7 million, and supposedly, the budget was like 450. We'll say 500 million, right? Is that well over 400 million, right? So we'll say 500 million, and I'm going to give them an additional 300 million for advertisement. Okay. So 800 million, right? So meaning $800 million is the budget for Battlefield 6. Okay. So 7 million copies divided by 70 is, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I'm sorry. They have 7 million copies. 7 million copies times 70. All right. So they've made 490 million. So right now they're halfway. Okay. A little over halfway. So they need to sell an additional 5 million copies, okay, to get around, right? Right? Because right now they're at about 490 million with the marketing, with the stuff. So they need to make about 12 million, 14 million copies. They need to sell what basically, and when I say sell, maybe not copies, but enough to to make it look like copies. And what I mean by that is the microtransactions that they're putting in the game. The Battle Royale is free. That's going to bring an influx of people into the game. They might buy a Battle Pass. So if 7 people buy a Battle Pass for $10, that counts as like 1 copy of a game. You see what I'm saying? So if they get 50 million people to play Battle Royale and 10 million people get to get the Battle Pass and they pay $10 a piece, that's going to cover. So regardless if they make the 7 to 12 million copies or whatever it is, they will make their money, but it's going to take a little longer, right? So they need to make a lot of money, and they're still about 5 million short. Feels Good Man says, that's the problem. It's not the best ever. Jesse says, AI probably wrote this. Feels Good Man, another close quarters map. Yeah, it sounds exciting, doesn't it, for Battlefield? Robert Jones says, are they trying to make pro scene again? 4v4, yeah. Call of Duty, Battlefield 6. Call of Battlefield? Do we call it Battlefield of Duty? Like, what are we calling it? This gives a rumor of Battle Royale launching on October 28th some legs, since that's also Season 1 release. Some people are talking about like it's coming out next year. We've talked about it on this show, October 28th, right? If it comes out, man, during that time frame, 2 weeks before a Call of Duty, because Call of Duty's Battle Royale is not coming out till what, next year? It's like March. We'll see. I think Arc Raiders is gonna be a sleeper hit. I don't think they're looking towards them. I think EA has a reason to don't talk about Arc Raiders. Let's see here. Looks like they aren't hitting 100 million. Come on, Stealth. I think it's just going to go live, and you can. I don't think you can like preload it or anything like that, Stealth. If that's what you're asking, I don't know the time it goes on. I'm sure they'll announce it like today or tomorrow. Battle Duty 1. Let's go on, Luke. I think they should drop COD. I think they should drop after COD. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to try to strike while the iron's hot. But I also think that they don't know that Arc Raiders is going to pull from them. All right. They do have an article saying they're going to address the hit registration issue, but we're running out of time. So we're going to go over to Legendary Drops video here. All the links are in the description down below. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I think I might put this at 1.25. Let me know if this is too fast for you guys for the speed. If you guys don't like the speed of what he's talking, or you don't like me pausing and talking about the thing, you want to watch his video on its own, links in the description down below. No hard feelings. Go check out his video. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe. Check it out. We're going to talk about it as we go. All right, here we go. Want to talk about it? Here we go.
I can't believe this is happening. Battlefield 6 is going to be a problem. Not because the game failed, no, because the game succeeded. It's a roaring success, and I think that alone goes to prove that all the excuses that we've been fed by AAA are largely not...
Is that good? 1.25 good? I think that's a good speed.
Not even real. The amount of times that we've been fed the lie by these guys that the games that we want to play, the games that we're looking for, are too demanding, too expensive, too technically impossible to be able to achieve. That without live service elements baked into every single form and function of...
Altered says it's too slow, 2.0 or nothing. I was going to go 1.5, but I think that might be a little too fast.
These games, they can't even survive. But Battlefield 6 is doing it anyway. Imagine having a live service game where the live service elements aren't even a part of the identity of the game. The reason why Battlefield 6 is working right now is because the act of playing the game is just enough for play.
Okay. The reason that Battlefield is working right now is because they didn't give you the entire game. They've learned their lesson. Look at what they did with Battlefront 2 back in the day. Before the game came out with Battlefront 2, with the whole with the microtransactions and the loot boxes and Darth Vader and skins and stuff like that, they paused that shit right before it and then launched the game. People still gave shit to them well after because of the microtransaction debacle that was going on, that was happening in the court and whatnot, where they say it was surprise mechanics. Okay, they learned their lesson from that, right? They learned their lesson from that. They learned their lesson from Battlefield 5. They learned their lesson from 2042, but they didn't put the stuff in the game right away. They waited 3 months before they inserted all the loot boxes and stuff inside of Battlefront 2. Right now, Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is one of the better games they've ever created. It's a fantastic game. Love playing it. Okay. Right now, but they don't support it. It's done. Okay. But now you look at Battlefield 6, and Battlefield 6 doesn't have a microtransaction store. They don't have the Battle Royale in there yet. They don't have the Battle Passes in there yet. They're just like, no, here, just play the game. And there's still massive problems with the game. There's still things missing from the game. There's no weather system. There's no Levolution type of stuff. There's no comeback system like there was in the past games. Okay, hit registration is still bad. Bloom effect is still having a problem, which always has been a problem, right? Map sizes are a problem. The actual design of the maps are a problem, right? All of these things are problems with the game, and they haven't even released the rest of the stuff yet, okay? So he's giving props to them, but how am I going to give props to a company that's literally just holding them back? It's like they have a Trojan horse. The Trojan horse is like, hey, look what they did. They gave us Battlefield 6, a big giant box of Battlefield 6 crates sitting in front of us. We're like, yeah, Battlefield 6. And then all of a sudden the door shuts down. They're like, bah, right? Microtransactions, battle passes, grinding things. And you're like, what the fuck is this? Sorry. So sad. You already own the game. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Here's to get by. The gunplay, the chaos, the performance, Portal, it all works. Imagine that. Players do not need to get baited back every single day to come and play your game.
No server browser. There's no where you can go in a cycle and just stay in the actual game. Every time you're done with the game, it kicks you back out to the lobby and you have to come back into another game.
When the game itself is fun. And that used to be the baseline. Today, it's revolutionary. EA was only able to pull this off because they brought all of their studios together to be able to work.
5 studios. 5 studios they brought together.
Work on this game. DICE, Ripple Effect, Criterion, and they did it all under the leadership of Vince Zampella, the same guy that goes on Twitter.
Vince Zampella, we talked about. I'm a fan of Vince Zampella. Even when he came to the company, I was like, I'm excited about Vince Zampella, right? What he touches is good.
The day that the EA app breaks down and players aren't even able to play the game and says, play it on Steam. Refund the game, play it on Steam. A competitor's platform.
Yeah, but he doesn't care. They're going to make the money regardless. That looks great optic-wise. Where the guy who made the game's like, yeah, it's not working on EA launcher. Go over to Steam. Well, guess what? They still get paid. Yeah, they get 30% less or 40% less or whatever. But that's not the goal. The goal is to get you in the ecosystem. Buy it wherever. They'll make that 30% up on the microtransaction side. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
That's what you get when you have a leader that actually understands the perspective of the players, the perspective of their customers. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about the success of Battle.
If they understand the perspective of customers, why is there a timer on Conquest?
Battlefield 6. I want to talk about what this says about where the...
Why is there smaller maps? Why is there 4v4? Why is there a Battle Royale? Why is there no server browsers? Hold on a second. He said...
When you have a leader that actually understands the perspective of the players.
What players? I just named 6 things that they didn't put in the game or respect anybody of the Battlefield community.
Perspective of their customers. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about the success of Battlefield 6. I want to talk about what this says about where the rest of the industry is right now and why I think the future of live service is not caring about it at all. Today's video is sponsored by Starforge Systems, the team behind some of the highest quality PC builds that I have ever seen. Whether you're looking for a
is because they know their customers.
Compact form factor
Sarge, that's why there's 4v4.
These guys know how to make a rig that looks good and performs like a dream. Their custom cases and collaborative designs are slick, practical, and genuinely feel built by people that love what they do. If you've been thinking about upgrading or getting a new setup entirely, check out Starforge Systems using the link in the description. Hell has frozen over.
Too pricey for me, anyway.
For my friends, we have a multi-platform AAA release that I can confidently say is a damn good video game, one that largely delivered on what players have been asking for.
I agree. When I played the beta, it was fun. It was good. I enjoyed myself. But what we got right now is not a full Battlefield. We have a Battlefield-esque type of game, or disguised as Battlefield. But it's fun. Right, so you're forgiving because you're having fun. You're like, oh, cool. Well, this is better than 2042. Well, stop comparing it to the shittiest thing in the game, right? Compare this to other Battlefields, not the shittiest Battlefield that came out in the last decade.
not just from Battlefield, but from the industry as a whole. No weird messaging, no pop-ups asking for more money, though I'm sure that's probably going to be coming later.
That's
no
going to be coming in.
performance issues. No,
that's negated. So saying that doesn't mean anything.
CEOs like Randy Pitchford jumping onto Twitter to lecture players about a premium game made for premium gamers. God, how embarrassing this launch must be for him. Imagine watching a high-fidelity, globally released, well-optimized shooter land right after your cell-shaded catastrophe. I guess that would be pretty embarrassing, about as embarrassing as saying it would be a long time before your game goes on sale, only for that same game to go on sale less than...
I mean, one's a multiplayer game, one's a single-player co-op game. They both have sold around the same, to be fair, in franchise history. I think one's at 83 million and one's at like 88 million. Okay, that's before the sales of what's happening today, right? So now if you add the 7 million that we just read about Borderlands, that gets them to like 90, and then the 2.5, that also gets them to about 90, right? Because I think it was like 83, 88 for Borderlands, and now it's like 90, 91, and 90. So, you know, they've been here. They're here at the same time. They're doing the exact same numbers across the board, but one's single player, okay, co-op, and the other one's multiplayer.
A month after its release. Now, sure, I could nitpick. I could point out the half-hearted campaign, give it a 5 out of 10 like IGN, but at this...
Hard-ass campaign, or not hard-ass, half-ass campaign. That's one studio. 5 studios. Okay, 5 studios worked on it. 1 studio worked on campaign. Maybe a studio and a half worked on that. And that's out the door. So that's goodbye.
Point, I'm just trying to win battles to eventually win the war. Some expectations need to be rebuilt one step at a time, because the people that made Bad Company 2 aren't at DICE anymore, and the ones that replaced them were told that single-player games just don't sell. The campaign might be weak, but in this case, it's also irrelevant because...
Why add it then? Why add a single player? If it's irrelevant and it doesn't matter, then why put it in the game? Half-ass game, minimal viable product. You want to just put it in so it looks like it's value there?
Well, the lack of it really hasn't slowed down this game's success one bit. Battlefield 6 launched to 747,000 concurrent players on Steam, helping the platform to break its all-time concurrent player record of 41.6 million users. It's reportedly now sold 1.7 million copies in pre-sale alone, generating $100 million before the game even came out. It's now expected to hit 5 million copies in the first week, or more, now judging by how overwhelmingly positive the reception of the game has been. Outside of a few Call of Duty streamers whining about how it's not the game of their choice, disappointing.
Well, why would a Call of Duty player be like, that's not the game of my choice? Of course not. You're a Call of Duty player. It's a completely different game. Again, I've always said, I'm a gatekeeper here, right? This is not Call of Duty. Don't try to make this Call of Duty. Go play Call of Duty.
That it doesn't have diamond-encrusted weapons, kill streaks, or movement designed to make you motion sick, Battlefield's multiplayer has received nearly universal praise. I remember during the game's closed beta leading up to its release, a few Call of Duty streamers were making headlines with their complaints. Those complaints have still now continued even till today. And just the other day, I summed up the entire conversation in a post on Twitter where I'd said, I think it's just the ego disconnect from playing a game that isn't about you. Battlefield isn't about you. It's about what your team does.
100%. At least Legendary Drop understands what Battlefield is. It's 100% about your team. Nothing about your kill streaks or what your kills at the end of the thing is. You look at that as a glance, you're like, oh, I'm in the top 10, I'm in the top 5 or whatever. But you're not trying to be number 1. You're trying to play the fucking objective.
Streaming, especially in competitive shooters, is built around performance. It's about you being the show. Battlefield doesn't really work like that. It's slower, heavier, and more deliberate. It's about coordination, strategy, and creativity, the kind of moments that you can't...
There's no strategy in this right now. Zero strategy in right now. Now, not to say that there's Battlefield players that have been playing in the past that are playing this game that are not making their own maps and doing stuff in Portal where they're more strategic with people that actually want to play that way, right? But if you just go into a regular match, I've watched so many matches. I can't even tell you how many hours I've watched now, okay, of just watching Battlefield. And I'm not watching it because I want to play. I'm watching it because I want to be able to talk about it because I love the Battlefield series, and I'm not buying it, so I have to watch it in place of not playing it, okay? Because I'm not buying it until I know what's happening with the actual the whole package, okay? There is no teamwork happening in anything. It's chaotic. It's super chaotic.
Script. That is a hard adjustment for people that have built their entire careers around kill feeds and clips, but it's exactly what Battlefield fans love about the series. Battlefield rewards participation over perfection. It's the collective chaos that doesn't care about who's on top of the scoreboard. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6 myself, and honestly, it took a lot for me to be able to pry myself away from the game long enough to be able to make this video, but it's been incredible. I've been jumping into matches with friends that I haven't played with since Battlefield 4, and for the first time...
I agree. When I played the beta, we started talking to people that I haven't talked to in 10 years. Got back in and started playing. It feels good.
In years, I'm actually
But nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
in love with a first-person shooter again. It's not flawless, that's for damn sure. I'd still prefer them to have weapon lock classes. I'm still pretending like they are, but everything else just clicks. The gunplay feels good, the progression feels fair, and the maps are some of the most detailed and
I can't tell you, Jones, if normal people are using comms in the chat or in the game, because I'm watching streamers, and obviously streamers are playing with other streamers, and they're talking to each other. I don't know if the regular people that are playing the game are using comms. I don't know.
reactive that I've ever seen. Every single match has those trademark Battlefield moments, a jet screaming overhead, a helicopter crashing right next to you, dragging your teammate out of the wreckage while explosions are going off all around you. It's just so cinematic and fun. And that's what so many people, especially the industry, have forgotten. The fun factor in modern shooters has just been buried under all this competitive obsession. Every single new release pushes these skill ceilings even higher, faster movement, more punishing mechanics, until the only people that are left enjoying these games are the ones that are playing it.
That's the best mechanic they've added to the game. I'm not being like sarcastic in any way, shape, or form. The drag mechanic to pull your teammates to safety is a phenomenal thing that they put in this game, which was supposed to be in 5. Which was also supposed to be in 2042. It took them 7 years to actually finally put it in the game, and it actually is in the game, and it actually works really well.
For a job, the genre has gone from being accessible to being about being aspirational, made for professionals, not for the actual players. That's why Battlefield 6 is standing out right now, because the game is just fun again. It's designed for the people who actually want to play, not for the ones that want to monetize it. Well, except for EA, they're definitely going to be making money off it, but I hope they understand why. First and foremost, this game succeeded because EA finally concentrated what talent they have left.
Nope. This game succeeded because they threw a shit ton of money at it, and the marketing, congratulations, marketing team. You did it. If it wasn't for the marketing team, this would not do it. Thank you very much. We're going to do another round of applause. Another round of applause. Thank you, GTA 6, for not coming out this year, because if it wasn't for you, this game would have not come out this year. It would be pushed out to February or March of next year, because this game is still 6 months away from actually being completed and done. But here's to you, marketing team. Here's to you, GTA 6 as well.
Always had the capability of making something great. I would imagine you'd be able to with 15,000 employees, but they can't really do that when they're spreading all that talent thin across so many different failing projects. When you look back at Battlefield 2042, that game was a disaster. It was rushed out in just 2 years because EA wanted to compete with Call of Duty Warzone during COVID, but DICE carried the entire workload of that game while the rest of EA Studios just sat on the sideline, and the result is exactly what you would expect, a broken, unfinished mess. Now this time's the opposite. Battlefield 6 got 4 years in development and an all-in studio approach. DICE, Ripple Effect, Criterion, all working as one. That kind of collaboration is rare for EA, but it's exactly what had to happen, because the truth is, they just don't have the same people anymore. The best of DICE left years ago to form...
That's fine. I'm not asking for the developers to be the guys that are at Embark now. What I'm asking for is Battlefield as a franchise to be Battlefield. And you have 23 years of Battlefield to look back at, and this game is not those.
Embark Studios, the rest of BioWare left way before that. Without those original voices and that creative leadership, EA's remaining teams just don't have the same foundation. To be able to make something great again, they have to pull everything together. They have to pull their talent, their time, and all of the right leadership. And in this case, that leadership is coming from Vince Zampella, the same guy behind Modern Warfare 2007, Modern Warfare 2 2009, Titanfall, Apex Legends, and the Star Wars Jedi series. While there is plenty to critique about how Apex has evolved, he is one of the few remaining studio heads in AAA who clearly thinks about the players first. When Battlefield 6 was having launch issues with EA's app, Zampella publicly told players just to buy it on Steam. The competitors...
That's the greatest thing, because think about that, right? One, look at Randy Pitchford. Randy Pitchford wouldn't say this. Randy Pitchford would say it's your fault, okay? And it's this is a problem, figure it out, right? Vince Zampella turning into the skid. He's like, I've talked to the guys, I don't know what's happening. EA's not working. Refund it, go to Steam, right? You're like, holy shit, the game director that works at EA just told us to not buy it from EA and go over here, right? And then the people that didn't be able to do that because they didn't want to return, they stayed on EA, they got rewarded. They got rewarded, okay, even if the people that left. They got the battle pass for this season. They got the battle pass for next season, okay? That is clutch. That's like, put your shades on, Vince, because he just pulled something that Randy Pitchford would never do, okay? And that gives street cred now, right? That gives points up, and they're like, man, Vince is the man, right? So that goes, you know what? I'm gonna stay with them. Instead of returning the game and being pissed off, what he just did saved a shit ton of people from exiting and getting super pissed off and disgruntled.
platform. And he said that that's where he's playing it himself. That's humility, my friend, something that I greatly respect. Someone putting their players' experience first instead of the company line. And honestly, I think that shows
he wants you in the ecosystem. They don't care.
In the game too, because Battlefield 6 feels like a game that was made by people who are actually playing what they are building. Every decision, from the way that weapons handle to the way that the maps flow, feel grounded in player experience, not corporate objectives. EA gave them the time, the resources, and for once, the right
Why are they putting a 4v4 in 12 days? Because Call of Duty comes out shortly after. Okay? That's why they're doing it. They're pulling the Call of Duty guys. Anyone that says that this game is not Call of Duty, you're missing the point. We're not saying it's a one-to-one Call of Duty. We're saying they're making it into Call of Duty because they're trying to pull the Call of Duty crowd over here.
Person to put in charge, and the result, I think, speaks for itself. Now, before you guys are sitting there saying, hey, wait, LD's being a little bit too gracious towards a AAA studio,
No,
there is a
you're not being
tragic side to
gracious.
this story, and it's that it shouldn't take 4 studios and a veteran like Vince
Five studios. It's 5 studios.
Zampella to be able to make one functional Battlefield game. 4 years in development, probably $500 million.
Yeah, 5 studios, $500 million, 4 years to make Battlefield almost Battlefield.
Spent in a total restructuring of EA shooter division. Are you kidding me? All to deliver what should be the baseline for AAA. That is not proof of a healthy system. That is proof that this system only works when it's in survival mode. Now, some talent is definitely there, but it's buried under layers of management and a dozen half-finished projects that probably none of us even care about. Battlefield 6 only worked because EA pulled every remaining ounce of focus they had left. And the irony is, this game didn't succeed because of some revolutionary ideas. It succeeded because they finally stopped trying to reinvent the wheel.
Nope. It succeeded because of the nostalgia of what Battlefield was, and Battlefield 2042 being so low on the bar, okay? And them saying going back to the roots, even though the roots is World War II, back to the roots of 3 and 4, getting the nostalgia of people. He said in the very beginning, him and his buddies that haven't played in 10 years are jumping back in that he hasn't played with since 4, okay? That's the point. They marketed the whole thing that we're back to 3, we're back to 4. People's ears perked up that, like myself, I'm 47. When I played Bad Company, I was in my 20s, okay? Almost 20, or almost in my 20s, right? What year did it come out? It's like 2011, right? We're talking like 14 years, 15 years. I was like 32, 33, okay? Like, everyone's ears perked up like, oh my God, they're bringing back Battlefield, right? Because we had to go through Battlefield 5 that didn't get better until 3 years after. We had to go through Battlefield 2042, which is still not good, okay? It's fun. Not good.
Messaging, though, over-engineered.
How's that new map going over there? Huh? How's that new map? Anyone playing it?
Retention systems, just a shooter that boots up, runs well, and feels great to play. That's it. That's the secret formula that the rest of the industry somehow forgot. And that doesn't mean that there isn't still some EA stank on this thing, because in their earnings call back in July, they were already setting expectations for Battlefield 6 that this game would reach 100 million players.
This is the stupidest thing they could have done. This was the stupidest thing they could have done. 100 million players.
100 million players, a number that is so detached from reality that it exceeds the entire lifetime.
This was the 16 times detail of Todd Howard, right? That's what this is. This is the, oops, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Sales for this series. Now, that figure likely is including their projections for their free-to-play Battle Royale that's coming next year, but this is still absurd to me. It's like they looked at Call of Duty Warzone's early pandemic numbers and decided that that's now the minimum for relevance. How do these guys not understand that this is the kind of thinking that nearly killed Battlefield in the first place, chasing somebody else's scale instead of building your own? And now that's the crossroads that they're standing at. Do they double down on the lessons that actually worked, focus, stability, player trust, or do they just repeat the cycle of overproduction?
No, they put timers in, they put 4v4 matches in, they put smaller maps in, and then they make you fix it in Portal. That's what they do.
Burnout, and the bloat that has swallowed the rest of AAA. Because if this game has proved anything, it's that players just need something that's actually worth playing, and thinking past that is dangerous. I think it's really telling about the state of the AAA industry when the only way that you can get a serviceable game is by getting nearly half of your 15,000 employee company to make one single game for that game to be worthwhile to play. These guys have gotten way...
That shouldn't be impressive, by the way. That should be worry. You should worry. As a company, not the consumer. You don't care as a consumer. As a company, if you have to put 5 studios on one game, you should be very worried.
Too comfortable underpaying the right people, overpaying the wrong people, and making money off of microtransactions that they have completely forgot how the process even works. Hopefully these guys actually learn something from this. Probably not, because they never do. But I can't believe that I'm making yet another relatively positive video on EA, but I give credit where credit is due, and Battlefield 6 is a good game. I have been having so much fun playing this game, and you guys have no idea how long it's been since I've genuinely enjoyed a competitive first-person shooter, or one that I could actually picture myself playing for a extended period of time. They've largely become all unplayable to me. The season passes, the advertising, the microtransactions, the constant shifting metas, the gameplay loop, the ever-extending skill ceiling. I can't keep up with live service games anymore. I like playing too many games, and I still miss having that constant game that I can always go back to and play with my friends. And this feels like one of those games where I can finally have a game to go and just play with my friends whenever I feel like it. I love how dying feels so inconsequential in this game, but capping a point and taking out a squad feels like you're an absolute god. And Battlefield is the only game that's able to pull that off. And that's why this game is so popular right now, because of casual audiences. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are happy to be home. Now, has anybody else noticed that there's no...
Krebsy, the fifth studio that closed down wasn't closed the entire 4 years. They closed it down. They closed it down after, like while they were in the process. So there was 5 studios working on this. Then they merged them into the other studio. So now there's 4 studios, but there was 5, then 4.
Apparel Shop or Battle Pass at launch, and how freeing of an environment that has made this game to play. Connect the dots there. Because it was only in this blissful moment of silence without microtransactions that I realized that Battlefield as a game, its DNA is just not built for standard live service models. Mostly because it's not nearly as competitive, and also the game doesn't really rely on a meta. Players are just playing the game.
Delta Force is not competitive, is it? And that's heavy on monetization. That's free to play. For, I should say, a live service game, right? They're constantly adding stuff to that. It's not a competitive game.
Because they have fun playing the game. It's not necessarily about your loadouts or weapons or anything like that. And everything that's happening, progression, whatever else, is just a byproduct of having a good time. And I think that in that, it goes to prove just how broken the live service model is. That silence caught me off guard. No store menu blinking in the corner, no battle pass quietly counting down, reminding me that I'm wasting potential XP. Just a...
Potentially by Christmas time, potentially, Delta Force might have a more consistent player base than Battlefield. Delta Force, okay, have a more consistent player base than Battlefield 6. Because their numbers are constantly going up, where Battlefield 6s are going down.
Menu, a match, and the sound of explosions instead of marketing. It's almost disorienting, like somebody just turned off all the noise that modern shooters have trained us to expect. Now, sure, all that is eventually going to be here. We're going to eventually see a cosmetic shop and season passes. We know that they're coming, but the difference is right now, they're not the center of gravity, and the game still works. We're in that rare window where the game just exists on its own terms, unburdened by the monetization orbit that every other...
Yeah, but see, I can't judge this game of what it is now because it's not complete now. Once they put the Battle Royale in, once they put the other stuff in, and then, and only then, once the store's in and all the other stuff in, then you can judge what the game is. Right? Because if you judge it now, you're like, oh, it's fantastic, but then 2 months from now, it's an absolute disgrace. Well, you're like, well, I had fun 2 months ago. No, you need to look at the game and judge for the game what it is, and you can't judge the game because the game's not complete.
Their shooter has immediately locked themselves into. It's freeing, and it weirdly makes me less worried about the incoming monetization because Battlefield's identity is antithetical to modern live service. Somewhere along the way, live service stopped meaning support and started meaning surveillance. Every single UI pop-up is just a behavioral nudge. Every season pass is an anxiety machine. The industry sold it to us as freedom, play how you want, whenever you want, but in reality, it was all just tying people to schedules. I think that's what eventually turned me off of live service games almost.
But that's what they're doing. That's why the grind is what the grind is. Hence why they're giving double XP. Hence why you can unlock 25 levels if you pay a certain price. And if you don't, you have to grind your way up those 25 levels.
It's entirely. So many of them require you to constantly stay on the hamster wheel. You can look at modern MMOs, Call of Duty.
That's why they have challenges. That's why you're doing all the things that you're doing.
And countless other games, but the pattern is always the same. Progress and rewards are designed to keep you relevant, not to keep the game relevant, no, to keep you relevant. You can boot up Warzone and you could use older weapons, sure, but you're going to get trounced on by players that are using whatever the newest gun that dropped with the latest game or the latest battle pass, and MMOs, new raids and dungeons will roll out, and suddenly everything that you've accomplished, everything you've earned is now obsolete. Players are trapped in this constant loop where their time isn't being rewarded, it's being erased. Every single update resets the finish line just to keep you pushing, keep you playing, and most importantly, keep you paying. But that model has a shelf life, especially when you start looking at the few live service games that have actually lasted. Fortnite is the one that every single publisher wishes they had, but for whatever reason, these guys just don't understand how it actually works. They keep trying to reshape their games to match its success.
Well, the difference is they've now conditioned the people over 7 years. You're only getting the battle pass for the skins. You're only getting it for cosmetic skins to look what you're doing. right? The meta is the meta, what they put into the actual season. So if they drop the shotgun is the most OP weapon that season. That's what it is for that season, right? You can use all the weapons, but there is a meta.
Success, hoping that the money will then follow. But the reason that Fortnite stays relevant is because the relevance isn't tied to you, it's tied to the game itself. You don't grind for guns, you just grab whatever you find on the drop. The game resets every match, not every
you're
season.
playing for the skins.
It's loot-driven, round-based, and built entirely around the experience of playing the game. The progression isn't about what you own, it's about what happens when you play, and that's why people keep coming back to that game. Now, in parallel with Fortnite, and I'm hoping that EA realizes this, that they're actually the most like it right now because the experience is tied to the match, not to the player. Battlefield 6 doesn't need to trick you into playing or force you back onto the hamster wheel just to be able to stay competitive. You play because you want to, because every single round feels like it could go anywhere. There's no sense of efficiency that's hanging over your every decision, and that's largely because Battlefield isn't built around a meta. It's too...
I think that's false. I think because of the challenges they put in the game, where you have to do the sniper shots from a distance, where you have to get the 30 kills on the thing. These are things that should have happened, but because there are challenges and pushes, like for instance, if it was an achievement in a game to, let's say, get 30 kills in a match on a point, and it was just a PlayStation trophy or an Xbox achievement, you would just play the game and then it would happen to be there, right? Unless you were an achievement hunter and knew it was there, you wouldn't play differently, right? You would just play the game and then do the match, and all of a sudden it would bing, it would pop up and be like, oh my God, I got a trophy. What is that? Oh, cool, I got 30 kills on a point in a match. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. But now it's in the game. Now it's in the game. If you want this thing, then you have to do this thing. So now you're playing the match, and every time you play the match, you're with 4 people, but you're not really playing on a team. You're playing by yourself on a team because your team is pushing C, but you're like, no, I don't want to go with them because they're going to steal my kills. So I'm going to go over to A where no one else is, and I'm going to sit here and wait for people to come in, and then I'm going to try to get the kills on A, right? And I can't do it. Oh, I missed it. So now I got to do it another time. Now I got to do it another time. So now you're completely changing the way you play the game so you can complete a challenge instead of just unlocking as you level up, where if you were playing the game and said, oh, you hit level 10, congratulations, you unlocked the SMG. And now you use the SMG, and as you use the SMG, then it unlocks the stuff. Okay, it's if you want to unlock this, you got to kill 5 people here. You got to get dog tags here. You got to kill three tanks here. That's worse because now you're going against what Battlefield is. You're going against the fundamental things of as a team. You're going through getting points, trying to win the match. Now you're trying to get you better stuff instead of just getting better stuff as you play the game.
Chaotic, too unpredictable, too alive for that. Every match is its own story, a mix of skill, luck, and pure disaster, and that's what makes this game fun. Sure, there are people that are posting builds and loadouts right now, but this game is...
Because as soon as someone gets the gun unlocked because they killed 150 guys, okay, for whatever reason, and the piece or the weapon that unlocks that point, and someone guy is running around, everybody's going to change their playstyle and say, well, that's what I'm going to do. So then you're going to have snipers sitting back, just shooting things so they can slowly increase to get up to 150 kills so they can unlock that piece so they can also do the exact same thing. But by that time, they'll probably nerf it.
Isn't Call of Duty where you're grinding for one weapon because it's the only viable option. I'm basically playing Battlefield 6 like weapon classes are locked anyway. I'm sniping on recon, running an SMG as engineer because that's how the game is meant to be played.
Yeah,
you can build the most perfect M4A1 with 0 recoil, but it's not going to matter. I capped more objectives. I got just as many kills. My relevance isn't tied to what I'm using. It's tied to how I use it and how I play the game. For once, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time for doing things the fun way. There isn't a single moment where I feel inefficient because I'm not worried about efficiency. That's not how you play Battlefield. I'm just playing the game. It was in that I realized that even when EA eventually drops a battle pass or a cosmetic shop, those things likely won't matter to most players. The new weapons just won't impact the game the same way that they do everywhere else. The best sniper and the best SMG don't really mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things when you could just as easily run into a tank, a jet, a guy on a turret, or an attack helicopter.
So why are people going to buy the battle pass? What's going to be in the battle pass that's going to drive you to get the battle pass? A cool cosmetic, and then you're going to stick out like a sore thumb? Or you're going to have some glow-in-the-dark thing? Or you're going to have some sort of weird thing that makes you stick out on the battlefield? Then that kind of breaks the immersion of Battlefield itself again.
Battlefield is too chaotic for a meta to matter. Outside of a few extra kills, there's really no right way to play. And that's what makes me think this might be the real future, the right way to run a live service game. It's the idea of divorcing your monetization from the gameplay experience itself. Battlefield 6, right now they're just doing this by accident. It's just a byproduct of...
What do you mean the future? That's what Fortnite's doing this entire time, since 2017. They're just selling you... It's an advertisement. It's an advertisement board. Scooby-Doo's in the goddamn thing now. right? Jason, right? Freddy Krueger, whatever. All the guys are like in the game. It's because I'm running around as this character now. Doesn't matter about the weapons. It has nothing to do with the weapons. It has everything to do about the skin you're wearing and the way the map changes over time.
What the game actually is, but it works. It makes the live service elements feel optional, supportive rather than intrusive, something more cosmetic than compulsive, and that shift takes away the pressure from the players entirely. Beyond that, and I think this is where the true end game of live service is, this time it's something that EA is deliberately emulating from Fortnite and Roblox, and that's player-generated content. One of Battlefield 6's key features is the portal. Inside of it,
I think this is a cool feature, but I think it's going to be Walmart bargain bin for 99.9% of the stuff until you find the one cool thing that someone will make a video on, and then you'll find it as a consumer. Other than that, you're gonna have to go through a bunch of crap to find the right one.
players have
Which is not playing the game. Then you're going through menu systems, which is a horrible menu system, by the way, to try to find the cool map to play.
unlimited access to the game systems, and they can create whatever they want. One of the first things that people built was Shipment, a map straight out of Call of Duty. Others have made flying tutorials, SOCOM remakes, hell, even full-on sandbox.
Oh, I can't wait to play Battlefield so I can play SOCOM. I can't wait to play Battlefield so I can play Call of Duty. I can't wait to play Battlefield so I can play other games other than Battlefield.
Modes. There's a browser now that lets you actually search for player creations and jump into whatever you want to. A lot of it is still rudimentary, remade maps, jumping puzzles, small experiments, but the potential here is insane. Somebody already made Space Invaders inside of Battlefield. Simple, sure, but it shows just how much flexibility and creativity these tools are allowing. We don't even know how deep this is going to go. Maybe somebody builds their own campaign or a looter shooter or something that nobody's even thought of yet, but I think that one thing is clear from these tools. By freeing the players from the live service rat race and giving them the tools to be able to shape their own experiences, EA has now created more reasons and more ways to be able to play their game beyond what is predefined. They've turned
But they could have done this without using the Battlefield name.
longevity into a real possibility for this game. I don't think that Battlefield 6 is some comeback story. I think that it's a reminder of what happens when a publisher accidentally does everything right. When you focus on the fundamentals, when you let people actually play instead of perform, when you stop designing around the fear of disengagement and start trusting good design and realizing that's enough. The success of this game is...
Well, no, it wouldn't be a comeback story because No Man's Sky is the same No Man's Sky that's changed, right? Cyberpunk has changed. Battlefield is a new game. It's not Battlefield 2042 having a comeback. Battlefield, the series, is having a comeback, but it's a brand new game. So it starts over. There is no comeback.
Isn't an argument for more content, more seasons, or more live service expansions. It's just proof that maybe the players were never the problem to begin with. The industry is. And if the lesson here is that fun still works, that stability still matters.
Oh, there's no drop, by the way. There's no bullet drop with the rangefinder inside the game. That's also broke.
That the players will always choose quality over coercion, then maybe this is the start of seeing something better. But knowing EA, knowing this industry, they'll likely try to bottle lightning and sell it as a subscription. Maybe I'm wrong about how the game plays, but I just don't see cosmetic shops or battle passes or season passes or whatever else actually making an impact in how the game plays. Because
I see what she's saying, but it does. I mean, look at Call of Duty. It doesn't affect my gameplay, but if I'm running around a Battlefield and I see Beavis and Butthead running around, that ruins my game. Do you know what I mean? That ruins my gameplay. So it all depends on what they do with the cosmetics, what they're going to do with the cosmetics.
Just not how this game actually is. That's not me saying that stuff isn't going to be there or it isn't going to sell, but if EA wants it to be that way, they're going to have to force it to be that way, which then would ruin the game entirely, and well, that's not out of the realm of possibilities. I'd only realized this when...
Hold on. Let me see what he says.
The game plays, because it's just not how this game actually is. That's not me saying that stuff isn't going to be there or it isn't going to sell, but if EA wants it to be that way, they're going to have to force it to be that way, which then would ruin the game entirely, and well...
Hold my beer, because EA will do that.
That's not out of the realm of possibilities. I'd only realized this when I saw some images pop up on Twitter of people's tier lists of some of the weapons, and then all of a sudden I started getting fed YouTube videos of people showing off their meta builds, and I just thought to myself, who cares? I just had a match where I went 40-2 in a tank. Why would I care about your perfectly tuned M4A1? It just doesn't make any sense. Players are largely not going to be chasing metas in this game because it just doesn't matter in the...
What he's saying right now, he's like, why do I care if your gun has a better thing? Well, obviously, the sway of the win and loss ratio would sway to the people that are higher level, have certain guns, are better at the game. Obviously, skill comes into it. But if this attachment gives you a faster reload or whatever, just in general, the more the game goes on, more people are going to have those guns. and those pieces, which means they're more efficient because it might be better so they can hold a point longer or whatnot. And then the people that are trying to get their accomplishments done because of the challenges or whatever not, they're going to be killing you faster. They're going to be killing you, and you're not going to be able to do your thing. And then you're going to get frustrated because you can't unlock those certain things because it's behind a challenge, right? It's behind a challenge. Unlock this by using this, by doing this, by killing 150 of this thing, right? You're gonna get frustrated, and you're just gonna leave. And then you leave, and the player base starts to dwindle. And then the player base starts to dwindle. It doesn't matter if you have all the cool things. It's because it's too grindy. And if it's too grindy, then people are gonna leave. It's what's gonna happen. And because there's so many games, okay, so many games that people are just gonna leave. They're just gonna leave.
Grand scheme of things, and season passes are likely not going to affect that, even if they do introduce new weapons through it, because most people are just going to be using what they like to use to begin with, because there's no point in trying to chase the best weapons in the game. It doesn't even make any sense. Hell, I'm not even sure if they're even going to be including weapons in the season passes themselves. It might be something else.
There will be a meta where people are just making Portal. It's already happening. Portal matches just to level up things faster so they can get things done.
Else entirely. I just think that games that have their monetization tied directly to how the game performs, the actual gameplay itself, is just a death sentence for a lot of these live service games. Because essentially what you're doing is you're just stamping an expiration date on every single season pass, on every single game that you sell. That's the reason why Call of Duty needs to release a new game every single year. Notice that Fortnite has never had to do that. Notice that.
Well, Fortnite doesn't have to release a new game every year, but since Fortnite launched, how many different game modes have they put in? They put in first person, third person, no build, ballistic. They've put in different game modes, 50 versus 50. They've put in brand new maps, and they change it all the time. They're constantly changing. So you can't look at Fortnite and say, well, they're not doing it. Yeah, they're doing it, but they're doing it in a completely different way. They've added Lego Fortnite. They've added music. They've added rocket racing. They've added a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, no, they haven't made a new Fortnite every single year, but they've added something new, a different game mode, different things every single year.
The most successful live service games that are still ongoing largely do not need to release a new game. And if they do, they just update their graphics, and that's the only thing that changes, because that's the only thing that needs to change. By constantly tying your progression and the monetization together, all you're doing is creating more barriers to entry for new players.
Well, how does that go into effect here, though, Legendary, where they said in the next 5 years, you're going to get a Call of Duty every year. I'm sorry, not a Call of Duty every year. You're going to get a Battlefield every year. They want Battlefield to become Call of Duty. So you're saying that they don't need to do that, and a live service game doesn't need to make a new game, but that's exactly their game plan for Battlefield, to make a new game every year, like Call of Duty.
Players and players that walk away and come back later, or people that just don't have the time to be able to keep up with it. I just don't see it being a problem for Battlefield 6. Maybe it will be. If it is, that's because EA made it that way. Player-generated content. That is the one thing that I will say is probably the future for this industry, because not only does it give an insane amount of replayability to a lot of these games, but
why am I paying $70 to make my own shit? Why am I paying $70 to make my own stuff in a game? Why is that the future?
Also at the exact same time, these guys are going to be able to see what the players make, understand what the players are looking for,
understand what the players are looking for. Hey, we don't want timers. We got you. We lower the tickets. Don't worry about it.
Some of those things into their game, see how many people are actually playing these things to begin with, and have a much easier time at being able to chart their course in the future. I mean, it's way better than any other engagement metric or demographic or whatever else you could potentially come up with. And we've seen this in just about every game that includes mods as well. I think that Stalker Anomaly, the mod, is more popular than the game series has ever been. Baldur's Gate 3 is never going to die because of modding. Battle Royales and MOBAs exist because of modding. Player-created content it's the future in a lot of cases. And I think it's going to...
Great. Then you guys pay your full price for half-baked, half-ass games that you have to create. You wait 5 years for a game to come out so you can get a worse experience with less optimization and less material, like less stuff in the game, and wait for... Now, once it's out, for the community to make the game, and you pay full price. Please. That won't wreck the complete industry. It's going to be big. Very big.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking of Battlefield 6. If you guys been enjoying it, if you guys want to catch me live, follow me on Twitch.
$70 so I can have someone, right? The companies can't make a game. Now I have to depend on other people to make a game, and I got to pay $70 to then play that game, which is not a full game, which is not a full campaign, which is not still features missing. There's timers and shit inside the thing. Like, what are we talking about here? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. All right. Links in the description down below. Legendary Drops video. I like watching him. I like watching his stuff. Links in the description. Make sure you click it. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. All the stories, everything that we have today is in the links in the description down below. You can also check out the store down below for our shirts. The shirt again. Let me see. Do I have it open still? I do. Okay. We still have the shirt. There's no like timer or anything on it. It's there. No pre-order, no day one, no full price for half-ass games. That's the future. That's the future. So you can go check out all the links in the description down below. Go check out our music. We'll be back tonight. Actually, we'll be back in about 45 minutes on 30 and Still Gaming as we play some games with Mr. Luke. I think we're playing some Helldivers this afternoon. So come on back for that over on our other channel, 30 and Still Gaming. If I don't see you over there, we'll see you tonight back over here on 30 NSG to end the week with our podcast that we do called Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. If you guys like the channel, again, hit that like button. If you're watching this after the fact, hit the hype button, and it helps us out to grow the channel. Appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
You can lean into sunshine for a slideshow. I fired up that brand new game, day one delight, but my rig's crying mercy, can't get through the night. Promise me glory, we're so alive, but my frame's hit the floor, I can't keep the dream alive. Optimization, yeah, it's always the same. Optimization, they don't respect the name. I paid my money, but I paid my dues. Got them day one broken game. Optimization blues. Starfield, Redfall, Forspoken too. Big old promises, but they just won't do. Last of Us PC, man, it crashed on cue. Borderlands 4 burning, GPU turn blue. Monster Hunter Wild, I sharpened my blade, but the frames per second just slipped and swayed. Black Myth Wukong, a legend inside, but that stutter step dragon just ain't running right. Optimization, they sell the dream is true. Optimization, never follow through. You buy the hype, but you always lose. Welcome, my brother, to the optimization blues. War thunder loads up, sky's calling me, but the frame drops hit harder than artillery. Skate rolls in, but it skids on the floor. 30 frames later, I don't skate no more. Jedi survive.
schedules, oh, they push them out fast. Console first, PCs always last. World's getting bigger, engines can't cope, DLS can't save what's already broke. Gamers just take it, fix it later, they say. But $70 gone, can't get back that pay. And I'm sitting here laughing, but deep down it's pain. Another launch day blues, singing the same old refrain. Optimization, it's a dirty game. Optimization, and we all know the name. They sell us